Oh, we're off to a right good start. We just got into an argument of Star Wars versus Star Trek, so maybe that'll be looking forward to in the hate, laugh, love in the future. Oh, go. Put them down. Put them down. Put them down. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inn. We're back. We're having some fun. We are going to be diving in after a couple of fun little announcements. The music and the ambience, as always, that is courtesy of Michael Ghelfi. We're using his stuff, and it's all great. I use it in all my campaigns. I encourage you DMs out there to look into it. You can find his links and all his places, Patreon and YouTube, I think is what we've got down there, down below in the About section area. Aside from that, for this next week, what we've got going on is Wednesday, we've got Playing with Mutts, me and Von, who's playing Paraspatus. Getting the right names of the right characters. We're going to be...
Come on, Mom.
Shut up, child. We're going to be playing through Valheim still. Second episode in Valheim. We've got a building up. We've already beat the main boss thanks to Jeff pushing us into doing it.
First one.
The first one.
boss.
The first boss. Yeah, the first boss. But we're going to keep going for that. Enjoy Emlar and what? Ulf? Ulf. Emlar and Ulf as they explore that world. And then Friday, we've got the next episode of Tea Time with... I wanted to say Tippy there. Tea Time with Murray. That's me. We're going to be talking about the campaign, kind of going over a brief of what's happened so far and diving into hopefully a couple of the characters, or if not just one plus a random guest, kind of their mindset. The guests for that, still TBD. Still trying to work out the details on that. Other than that, that's what we've got. That's what I've got. Does anyone else have anything?
No, we're still working on who's going to be on Hate, Laugh, Love. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Other than that, no news.
Keep up with our Twitter and YouTube. The videos come out on YouTube and Twitter. We have a lot of when we go live kind of announcements and random little things in between.
Highlights.
Highlights. Yeah. Good old highlights. We love highlights. For that, though,
Yeah,
I think...
Look at them highlights. You like those highlights, JP?
No. Aside from that, I think we'll just get this kicked off because we're in a rather precarious situation to begin with. So, roll that intro.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but not at least will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Oh, so much info on the flask tasks. Welcome back. Last episode, everyone kind of started off their days. Yolandriel found his way back into the town after finding the tomb and flying away, with his wings out, emitting a ton of light, maybe revamping the idea of Eshnar in the area, as one of them commented. They managed to get Zarai out of the drunk tank, having with Paraspatus intimidating the captain of the guard, Captain Alars, and getting him out for free. They eventually met up at the docks, met up with Sorin. Bremlin told them he had to leave. He toddled off. They hopped onto Sorin's boat, and after one normal day and one day that was very short, only 3 hours long, they ran into a group of harpies as the sun was beginning to set. They fought the harpies off, Steve found himself in a very precarious location and has now been rendered either unconscious or dead. The party cannot tell. It is in the grasps of one of the harpies. And we're actually starting off still inside that combat area with Brolog going first.
Okay, Brolog will use his bonus action to attempt to see if he can perceive if Steve's condition, as far as dead in the next 5 seconds, dead in the next hour type of situation.
His situation is chicken wings.
Harpy food. Muted.
Can't
Thank
hear you,
you.
Murray.
Thank you. Give me a perception check.
7.
7. You could tell he's limp, but he's in the hands of the harpies.
Which harpy?
This one here.
Question.
Answer.
Can I can't roll for anything else on this turn, right?
So that was your bonus action. You've still got your
Okay.
action and movement, depending
Okay.
on what you'd like to do with those.
Okay. In that case, Brolog will attempt to grapple Demon Eye.
Okay. Demon Eye, are you resisting this grapple attempt?
What are you doing?
I'll take that as a yes. So, strength checks.
We are negotiating.
12.
Oh, damn it.
Oh,
11.
11. Brolog, you managed to, seeing that you can't tell how Steve's condition is, you run to, actually he's right next to you, you just reach over and you grab hold of Zarai. Zarai, Brolog's got a very strong grip on you. You don't think you can move under this grip. I don't think you're doing anything with your movement, are you?
Correct.
Okay, in that case, it goes to Anubisai.
I am going to move next to Zarai and also grapple hold down.
Okay.
What are you? He's already got me, man.
Yeah, but a little extra can't hurt.
So give me a strength check. Zarai, you're not rolling against this because you're already grappled. Oh, goodness.
That would be a 24.
Okay. That's for if he tries to break out. That's the highest roll. That's what's got him now. Is that what you're doing? All you're doing with your turn?
Yeah.
Zarai? You are
I
grappled.
had so many plans, and you guys just screwed them all up.
First 5 minutes, man.
Ah, the joys of D&D.
I wanted to thorn whip one of them and see if the one was holding Steve so I could pull him back. But I gotta get within 30 feet and I can't.
We are
He's gone,
saving
my
your
friend.
life.
Let him go.
He's right there. I could have tried.
He's gone.
Okay, I'll give you a couple more seconds to decide if you're going to do anything.
I hate you guys so much. I'm going to do. No. I'm doing Hunter's Club. Hunter, not Hunter's Club. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Can I cast Hunter's Mark on him?
You already have your Hunter's Mark up. You're still concentrated on it. What's the distance of Hunter's Mark? I think it's 120 feet, but let's double check that, just in case it's any less.
It's
90 feet?
foot range.
Okay.
Yep.
They are all within range.
I'm just mad. I'm casting Fog Cloud. I'm using a spell slot. They're not gonna
Oh.
see me cry.
Fog Cloud, is that a concentration or instantaneous?
A Fog Cloud is a conjuration, one action. Oh, it is concentration up to an
Concentration? Okay, you would be losing your Hunter's Mark.
Yep, I'm doing it.
Doing it? Okay, where are you
Yeah.
casting Fog Cloud?
Just centered on me.
And what's the distances of it?
20-foot sphere on a point within range. Lasts for the duration until wind of moderate or greater speed, so that'll probably be gone pretty quick, but for the time being,
Are on a moving
I'm
boat.
not happy. Yeah.
So it's centered around just that one point.
Yep.
Okay,
I have one more spell slot.
that's gonna make things difficult for me.
Sorry.
You
Blame these two
little
that are
turd.
holding me.
That's okay. I'll do this. It looks janky. You have Zorai to thank for it, but it works.
There's no way it'd be a perfect circle anyhow. So
Oh no, no.
Other than the
Oh, right.
shape tool.
Go back to sleep.
I'm in the wrong. Come on. Right. I have a mouse on this computer too that I can use. I don't just have to use my fingers for the touchscreen. That's not what I wanted to do.
Where's your
The boat's gone! The boat just magically
Wait,
disappears
can I
underneath
say
your
that I
feet. You have
can't
nothing to
swim?
do on there. Okay.
ooh, this could work out really well. I don't let go.
Ignore what's going on.
Now
Goes
all
back
the
to the token
landscape
layer.
is gone.
Yes, I had to do that for a
This is what we
second.
see technically, because it's all white. 'Cause we're in a smoke cloud. because
Technically,
you guys are
yeah.
because you guys
Technically.
decided to grab me.
Okay, so that's been repaired. Now we're going to repair one more thing here. We're going to actually select the right thing and put that in the map layer. Brilliant. Perfect. There we go. Problem
Nice.
solved.
Nice.
Right. You cast fog cloud on that territory.
Fog part.
On bonus
Uh,
action, I'm gonna yell at them. I was gonna use Thorn Whip on him.
Thorn Whip's a
No.
15-foot distance. They are too far for Thorn Whip.
No, it's a 30-foot.
They are still too
30
far for Thorn
No,
Whip.
I know. I said I was I'm talking to
Ah.
these guys. I was going to, and then but I had to get in the range, and you guys held me down.
for your own good?
I could have tried.
The boat
I
continues
could
moving
have
forward.
tried.
We'll get you another Steve.
Okay. Rolls round to you, Elandriel. You, last turn, you started casting Prayer of Healing. If you want to continue that, that's where you have to do your whole turn. That's your turn. Braspetus.
I'm
Dog
going
pile.
to sheathe my sword and put my hand on Zarai's shoulder and looking
Space, I'm grabbing my
incredibly
two other cards
downcast
already.
and and unhappy about it. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, "I'm sorry, Zarai, but there is nothing we can do for him. And if you had gone after him, you'd have been lost as well. I'm sorry." And then I'm going to forlornly wait for your Landriel's spell to finish healing me.
That being your turn, it rolls round to them as they fly into the trees. We are out of combat at this point. The boat is continuing to move. It's still going. There's nothing going on around, though. You can't see any more of the harpies. There's a few of the dead corpses on your boat. I think 5 in total it was. How
Okay,
evil.
you guys are healed. 1 second. Let me pull these guys. You have to roll for that. Ooh,
I am
that's not bad.
downing my mostly full flask of good stuff, but it's not like the really good stuff. It's just kind of good stuff.
Throlog retains grapple.
So does
I'm still
Anubis.
drinking it.
Just like
You can't.
awkwardly. He's not restrained, so he's still got movement, technically. But he could get this flask up, and you said we were draining one?
Yeah, I have one that's like 6 out of 8 ounces.
6 out of 8?
so I'm
Make
not
2
drink- so I'm not
Constitution
drinking that
saving
one.
throws.
2?
2? Actually, no. This
No,
one's
it's-
not
it's
Hank's
not-
brew. This one's not
Yeah.
Hank's brew. So if it was Hank's brew, yes, it would be 2. Any after your first shot, you would be making 1. And 6 ounces is 3 shots. 2 ounce per shot.
Yeah,
There
did
you
the
go.
math wrong on that
But
one.
this isn't Hank's, so only 1.
Yeah.
Everyone's healed for 15.
Question: This temporary hit points, are they gone now, or
Those will
Brand said?
go... I think those ones go after your... That was one of your spells, your Andrea. Which one did that?
Was that one of my spells?
I think it was.
I will look through.
Because
real quick.
if anything, they'll be
Yeah.
gone after a long rest.
Yeah,
Of which...
I'm pretty sure.
Rolled a nat 20, by the way.
For what?
For the Constitution
God.
saving throw?
My Constitution saving throw.
Okay, then you pass. You manage to retain your motions and your brain functions, but you definitely have booze in your system. You can feel it. You are drunk, just not blackout drunk.
Should we tie him up anyhow? I got this feeling he's gonna fly after him. Period.
Something you will realize is the sun at this point has set. It is dark out. Those of you who do not have more than 30 feet, or... Well, the boat does emit some light, so you can see some stuff, but some of you probably cannot see the tree line anymore. Looking at Brolog and
can.
Precipice.
I can't see the tree line at all. It's so dark. I'm going to check on our gnomish Nautilus.
He is where you left him, underneath in the storage area, kind of crammed under there. He looks scared out of his wits, but when you pull that thing up, he's... Are they gone?
For the time being.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. He scurries out, looks around, and is like, shoot, it's dark. Do any of you know how far we moved? I wasn't able to lower the anchor or get us stationary. Did we drift at all? We by any of the shores?
We did. Not
Okay.
towards the shores, just further down the river.
Good. Right. That was a short day. I'll stay up. We need to hightail it out of here. Those things, if they attacked once, they might be back, but then again, you proved them better in combat. But I'm just gonna see to, and he walks
Not
up,
without losses.
starts fiddling with ropes and fiddling with things, making sure everything's secure. Stepping over and kind of going, oh, no, that's a body.
I'm gonna look at Raspitus and I'm gonna say, I'll stay up with him. I'm the only one that can see him coming. You guys
Okay.
go get some rest.
Is Anubis still holding me?
Are you gonna try and fly off?
This is not about what's about. This is about what's currently going on right now. I'm not asking you. Are you still holding me at this point
Yes.
right now? As the alcohol hits my stomach and I start to feel the warm
Oh no.
rush of
Oh no.
intoxication come around, I turn around to Anubis and I just give her a big ol' hug and I'm like, I knew you loved me.
No reaction.
Just
Oh,
still
no.
holding on.
Yeah, I'm in statue mode.
While continuing to grapple on the demon eye here,
They just fall asleep, 3 of them standing up.
I'm not gonna sleep.
I'm gonna button down quickly because I want to get at least a short rest and then hop up and be alert and ready to go.
Okay.
Burlock says to Demon Eye, the blood has cleansed my thinking. I'm going to need to hear the story of your tattoo.
Oh, I'm just gonna hold on forever now.
Oh, can't wait for this. My
Sit
ear,
down,
your
comfy.
Galadriel's ears perk up. I'm like, and I walk to the group.
So you you ever seen a dragonborn?
You would have.
No, I would have. Okay. Yes.
So they're They're pretty big.
Yes.
I'm not very big. I'm kind of small. On the smaller side, actually. What was the name of that first city we were in? Kind of somewhere in my
Danira?
notes back. Yeah. So you remember back in Danira
Yes.
that first night we were there, and I went off to. Yeah, that's not what it was. The brothel over the House of Cards. That's what it
Yeah.
was. I remembered.
Mm.
There's a dragonborn. Twice my size. And you know I'm not well endowed.
He knows, I say.
You stabbed him?
I stabbed her, yes, many times. Until I didn't need to stab her anymore.
Why did you kill someone at this brothel?
She wasn't necessarily dead. I didn't say I killed her. I just stabbed her a handful of times.
Why? Explain.
You're digging yourself a deeper hole.
She
You
just
might
felt
as
like
well
I
tell
just
him
felt like
the
she
truth.
had it coming to her, bro. Like I was drinking, so like I wasn't planning on this.
Brolog,
Going
have
this
you heard
way
the story of the birds and the bees?
Shut up, Elandriel.
What do you mean, Yolandriel?
Elandriel, say one more
The-
word, and
the
I
story of the
swear.
birds and the bees. I like look at you pointedly, like, what are you going to do to me? And then I look right back at Brolog and say, have you heard that story?
No.
Good. All right.
Well,
so,
I'm
anyways,
sure,
as
I'm
I-
sure
as-
in
as-
your culture, maybe the animals are different. The creatures in this tale. It's a story that adults tell children to help explain sexual procreation.
Ah, yes, procreation. For the old and the weak. Yes. What about it?
Well, you see, when Zorai here says he conquered and stabbed repeatedly this dragonborn, what he means is that he procreated, but he laid with her in
You
the biblical sense.
profane the tattoos with this weak act?
You agreed to it.
You told me that you had defeated a mighty beast?
I told you I conquered a dragonborn back in that. Yeah.
Demon Eye must be removed.
I tighten my grip.
Ooh.
I
So
extend my
bullshit.
halberd. I extend my halberd and I'm like, ting, and it like rings, and I'm like, well, what's the plan, boys?
Demon Eye, will you allow me to make you worthy again?
Bro, like you agreed to this.
You lied to me.
I did not lie. It was a great feat for me and my kind. From where I am from. This is a great feat among my people. This is
Bro,
what
I'm
my
almost
mentor
ass.
told me.
Braspatus, you can definitely hear all of this going on. You may be trying to sleep, but you can hear it.
So I'm gonna have gotten up at this point and walked over and just kind of watching for the moment. But I'm definitely getting ready to cast a spell.
Don't do it.
Okay.
This is a pride. This is a pride thing for me. Don't dare do it, Prologue. I've already gone through enough today.
Prologue attempts to cut off the tattoo with his axe.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh no! Hopefully you
No.
do not roll a 1, or
It's
else
alright.
you are about to
It's
cut
alright.
him in twain.
Are you trying to break free of the restraint that you're in currently from Anubisai?
Just protecting my tattoo. I don't necessarily have to break free, but if that's what I have to do, then I guess so. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to roll that high unless
So,
I get a nat 20.
Then Anubisai, in what way are you trying to hold Zorai right now?
I'm gonna say upper arms.
Upper arms.
Yeah,
Then,
trying to hold, right underneath the shoulders, holding them. Yeah,
So like this or like this?
like that.
Like overhead? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he is currently Zarai is holding his lower back. He's blocking off your ability to chop, Brolog. If you chop, you'll be getting his hands as well.
Whose hands?
Zarai's hands.
Okay, chop.
I'm slapping my tail at him while he's doing this, and wings,
Oh, wow.
anything to like distract him.
This is taking a turn, boys.
Give me an attack
Yeah.
roll.
Which one of us?
Brolog.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not attacking shit.
I have a tail and wings, boys.
You don't have an attack with your tail or wings. Brolog gets the attack on this.
Can you like use him as a distraction?
22.
He's like
You're
right there.
You're being restrained. You're being held too, grappled by
My shoulders.
Anubisai. 22 for
They're
the hit.
Yeah.
Zarai, does 22 hit you?
You're such a whore. Of course, it doesn't hit. I'm a freaking ranger. Of course it hits.
Brolog, when you cut down, you manage to dig deep into his hands as well. But you also cut part of the tattoo off. You managed to skin that area. You already know how to do this. You've done it before already with someone else. So you kind of bring your axe down, get that cut. Zarai, your hands are getting cut by the blade too. He's still cutting through even though you're trying to block. It's painful. Roll damage, Peter. Or Brolog.
Does it matter that I'm not trying to do
It
damage?
does.
Okay.
It just makes
You
it
can
non-lethal
accidentally
or
kill him.
lethal.
Mm, 12.
12. Zarai, you take 12 points of slashing damage as he cuts through. You were up to 23 again because of that wonderful spell. Math in
I
my
got
head.
it. It's 11.
You had 1 point of temporary hit points.
Oh, I did, okay.
Yep.
What the-
Had. There is still some to cut off though. It is basically flapping skin. So you can continue Brolog. It will be another attack roll.
Okay.
Or
These
at this
two
point,
attack
actually.
rolls?
At this point, proficiency. If you're trying to escape Zarai, you can make
Yeah.
a grapple oppose against Anubisai. So Anubisai, roll a strength check, both of you.
7.
25.
You cannot get out of the hold of Anubisai.
Percy, help! Please. It
Uh,
hurts!
I like pat Zorai on the shoulder and I use healing hands and heal him for 3, which is the total that I can heal right now until I take a long rest.
While he's doing that, I also step forward and I grasp his head basically, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2. So I'm going to take
Just keep
10
note,
points
because
of
I think you're
damage.
trying to do that after it's done, because Brolog's
Yeah,
not finished
after
cutting
it's
it off
done.
yet.
Yeah,
There's
he's
still
gotta cut
damage
it
to be
off.
dealt to Zarai.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I'm going to wait.
I'm just hoping
gonna-
that
Because
my
that's
3
that's a
points
big
go to his
level healing
hands.
spell. So I was
Yeah.
like, he's
Yeah.
not.
No, I'm
done
gonna wait.
yet.
I'm gonna wait then until he's
Okay.
until he's done. But I'm gonna be holding his head.
Now, Brolog, give me that next attack roll then.
15.
15? Does that hit your AC? Yeah, that was a very
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah, he's so
Are
sad.
you learning your lesson about lying there, bud?
I didn't lie!
Blade continues,
Drinking.
cuts
Oh,
through,
well.
cuts
Boring.
that skin off the flap in the back. The skin falls to the ground. You hear a slop as it hits the deck. And roll for
Brolog.
damage.
Brolog picks up the skin and throws it overboard.
Okay,
12 damage.
12 damage.
Ouchie. All of my healing, my prayer of healing is just gone.
It's a really good thing you
He
did
did
that.
substantially
'Cause
more than that heal.
if
He'd
you
be
didn't
dead.
heal him, Zara would be unconscious right now. Okay, Zara, everything is going a little black. You're almost blacking out from the pain and the agony. You can feel the warm blood dripping down the back of your lower back area where you got that tramp stamp. It's a lot of pain. Precipitus, you're casting the spell.
I am indeed. You get back. Because testing at level 2, I'm losing 10 HP, and you're getting 10. Wow, that was a direct trade.
It's the second time you've done a direct trade.
Looks like
Yep.
I lost 12.
You're up to 13 again.
Yeah.
Okay, and as that blackness, you feel this warmth flow of energy as Precipitus clasps your head. The pain begins to dissipate as you all who can see the back end, here's a tail end. Wounds heal over. There's now a fairly gnarly looking scar in that spot. As you're still in pain, because it was a very painful process, and he did it with his battle axe instead of something gentler. But it's dissipated to a degree. The tattoo's been removed.
I'm going to look at Zorai pointedly and I'm going to say, maybe don't tell the big elephant guy who's got a fixation on tattoos white lies about your tattoo.
Wasn't a white
And,
lie.
and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk away.
It wasn't a lie, okay?
Brolog puts his axe away.
I'm going to hand him my last potion of lesser healing as well. And then go to bed.
Are you handing that to Zorai?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Zorai, be sure to add that to your character sheet.
Potion
And-
of lesser healing.
Yeah, Potion of Lesser
Mhm.
Healing.
It's the 2d4 plus 4 healing, by the way.
In the background by the wheel, you hear Soren say, "You guys manage your party really strangely. Can't say I've ever seen that before. If we sail through the night, we'll arrive in Marjoram by morning. I don't know if you want to go after your little guy or what. It's a dangerous forest, but then again, you're capable. What do you guys want to do? Like, what's your plan?"
I'm gonna roll the break grapple again.
Okay, strength opposed,
Nope.
a Nupusai
Don't
routine.
even roll a Nubusai. You're gonna beat a 6 flat out with any roll you roll, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he is.
Yeah. Don't even roll.
You need new dice, mate.
I rolled a nat 20 to start. No, it's not that.
Blew you nat 20.
Precipitus is collapsed at this point, by the way. In exhaustion.
Okay, I'm just going to look at the group and ask them all, are we going after Steve or are we pushing forward?
Push forward. The dead can bury their dead.
Okay, I'm going to look at Anubisai.
I'm waiting for Zarai's response.
Okay, I look at Zorai.
You already know what I want to do.
And the party can't back you up.
Speak your truth, Queen. Let's go.
I want to go after my boy. He watched out for me when I was just a baby in the forest. He's been there for me when no one else was. And I'm just supposed to abandon him when he needs me.
Do you give us the night to recover?
There's no chance that he's going to survive the night. We'd have to go now, and if we go now, we risk the entire party for a pseudo-dragon.
It's more than just a pseudo dragon. He's family.
To you, yes, but you also sent him out into the middle of combat. Which, means
They got
that
some
you
lucky
hold
hits in, okay?
most of the responsibility. for what happened. And therefore, I think it's best that we push forward because the risk is too great, considering it is no one's fault but your own that he was in that situation to begin with. Praspidus, what do you say?
He's
You
asleep.
are in charge? Oh,
You
are
hear
you...
the sound of snores coming from where he collapsed.
Okay, I point my hand like this at Praspidus and I say, well, we're down one man, so our chances just got much worse. Yeah, I'm going to look at the captain guy and say, push forward.
Okay. I'll just make sure we keep going. If you guys are gonna sleep, do you mind leaving someone who's awake to help keep watch?
We
I'm
will.
always awake.
That's not creepy at all. Okay, okay, cool.
That's not creepy at all.
With that, he tends to the wheel, pays attention, or tends to the rudder, pays attention to the waters.
Okay, I'm going to take my armor off, just walk, and it's off. I don't even have to do the fastenings or anything. And I'm going to set all my stuff down, and I'm just going to like sharpen my blade. Shing, shing.
Brologs.
And that's what I'm doing for a little while.
Brolog walks up to Anubisai, whispers in what he assumes is her ear, and says,
One side of the helmet. Yeah.
thank you for assisting me in the upholding of holiness. My pledge lies with you now. Then Brolog goes to sleep.
I am going to release you, Zarai, but if you fly off, know you're on your own, and we probably won't see you again.
If it isn't the consequences of your own actions.
And I will release him. And assume a watch.
There's a little background discussion going on here. So,
What?
Where?
no,
Where?
not with you.
Oh. Well, anyway, I'm going to sharpen my halberd for a while, kind of keeping watch as I'm doing it. And then I'm going to get some sleep. So that way I can get up early and help Anubisai with the morning watch.
It's alright.
Fuck, man.
I couldn't help you no matter what because I can't fly until I sleep. So, like, there's no me helping you. I can't go anywhere, really.
No one could.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Yeah, but it would have killed you.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm like out of spell slots. I have like 2 maybe right now. No, I'm
It's
out.
actually really tough for me. I'm downing the other flask and accepting the consequences for what the fuck they're making me do right now because of what they did to me.
We did to you. All
You
right.
held me. I could have been 30 feet away and thrown a throw.
I
I could have
didn't
tried something.
hold you at all. I didn't hold you at all.
You didn't help me when I was getting my back and hands cut into either.
I was
Screw you,
in the
Laurentio.
middle
Go to
of
your
a
corner. Go to sleep.
10-minute. I was in the
I'm
middle of
chugging
a
my flask,
10-minute long prayer.
Flying up to the top of the mast before I do, and I'm like just grabbing on
And that
it.
prayer prevented you from taking some death saves. So
So, Zara, you said you're chugging the rest, the other flask.
I'm flying to the top of one of the masts and tying myself to it because I know I'm about to do something really stupid, and I am chugging the other flask, the small one.
Okay, give me a performance for your tying up first.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Where were these like a second ago? 18.
All right, you think you've done a pretty good job. It's a much better knot. Like, you actually know how to tie knots. Steve doesn't. So when Steve tied it last time, it was basically just entwining the
Steve
ropes and hoping.
didn't.
Steve, like, he just basically didn't, yeah. But you tied it this time, and got it nice and taut. You think you're secure? You're pretty sure you're secure.
And I'm downing the other flask.
All right, 2 con saves.
$20 and 10.
20 and 10. It doesn't hit you for a bit, but about 10 minutes into the night is as far as you can remember.
Yeah, during that blackout, I just want to be singing at some point, just some unintelligible thing.
It's very... So, your Laundriel Anubisai, while you're awake, your Laundriel, when you're pointlessly sharpening your blade, because it's a magical halberd, doesn't lose its sharpness.
It's
It's
for the
for the show.
meditative
I know,
properties
yeah.
of it. Yeah.
So going through the process of that, eventually you start hearing this very sad crying singing coming from the top of one of the masts. Anubisai, you would recognize this to be it's a very woeful song. It's about losing your partner, losing your friend, losing someone. But it's also very drunk, so it takes you a little bit to realize what he's saying for some of the lyrics. Like, you miss some of it as it goes.
It's slurred. Yeah.
Slurred up a bit.
Gotcha.
It eventually
I'll let him
stops.
be.
Yeah. Eventually stops and is replaced by snoring. Soren continues. So, your Londriel and Anubisai, seeing as you're staying awake for the first part of this, give me some perception checks.
And this is where I rolled 1. Oh, not bad.
What's my perception?
13.
13.
A full on 10.
Full on
Should
10.
maybe be not paying attention to my halberd.
There's nothing you see through that portion.
Okay.
Yolanda, are you waking up anyone else up for watch, or are you just going to sleep?
Probably Brolog. Let Paraspidus sleep a bit longer.
I mean, we could chance it. Just let me stay by myself. You all need sleep.
Yeah, but you have the vision, like your character has blinders on when it comes to perception. You're just like, huh?
Yeah, but if we're gonna get attacked, they'll attack me first, and you'll hear a bunch of clanking. I'm like the alarm bell. Clink, 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 clink.
You waking Brolog up?
Yes.
Okay.
Brolog wakes up, goes and stands by the helmsman, and pays attention as best he can.
Okay. Then Brolog and Anubisai, give me some perception checks.
Natty 1.
Nice.
6.
It's nothing through the night, or through your watch.
Oh, that's not good.
You will
I
see
could have done
watch,
that
good
by
watch.
myself.
At the end of your watch, Brolog? You waking anyone up, or are you just going to sleep?
I'm going to tell Demon Eye it's his turn and go to sleep.
He is up on a mast. Out of your reach.
Yeah.
And has that distinct
I'm just-
snore of a drunk.
Just yell at him.
Demon Eye, give me a con check.
At disadvantage.
What's the roll? 3? He stays snoring. Still sound asleep.
Brolog doesn't notice, goes to sleep.
All right. Anubisai, give me a perception check.
Eight.
8. Nothing through that watch. You know, it comes to a time where it would be time for fourth watch. Do you wake anyone up for it?
No.
No? Alright, one more check then.
They need their sleep. If something attacks, we'll figure it out. 11.
Hey, that's what Soren got too. Nothing. The sun begins to rise.
Is that a long rest then?
That is a long rest. So you can all move your hit points up the doodles back to your
Does
normals.
Soren have a fire torch going on the
Yeah,
ship?
there's a few torches.
So somewhere in that night, I'm gonna hold my hand for a little bit, you know.
Well,
Heal up.
the sun's rising. You realize everyone's going to be waking up soon, so you go over and hold your hand over. And Soren immediately sees and, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? No, that's fire. That hurts. You know that, right?
Doesn't hurt me.
What?
It heals me.
You all are strange people. Where did you say you're
Oh.
from?
Bizarro world.
Bizarro World. Where's that?
Long ways away.
Oh, well, maybe one of these days I found myself lucky enough to go for a visit.
I don't think so.
Alright. We should be getting to port in probably about an hour or so. Really depends on the day.
I get up and I do my morning yoga, which is my routine.
Okay.
You guys see me off in one corner, just like
My apologies if you already said this. Are temporary hit points gone now?
10 hit points are gone now.
yes.
Okay. Brolog is gonna munch on some rations. Sit on the
Okay.
deck.
Praspidus looks a little disheveled and confused for a brief moment, and then gathers himself and centers, eats little rations, focuses a little on his tome.
Tome. Reading the inscriptions that... Cool. Gotcha. Zarai?
I'm filling up my smaller flask with my bigger cask flask, so it's a little more easier to drink out of.
Sitting up there, holding this big one, is like pouring into... give me a dexterity check to see if you can, on a rocking boat, go from a bigger hole to a very small hole.
Well, I'll get it there. I just might lose a little bit. Dexterity?
Dexterity. Just to check,
Yeah.
not a save.
Yeah, that is 18.
18. You do pretty good. You manage to pour it, like you time the rocking so the liquid inside the big one actually goes out just at specific times and then doesn't flow out when it goes the other way. You at most maybe lose 2 ounces, 1 ounce for each flask
Gotcha.
while you're filling them up.
Right, and then I'm just flying around drinking.
You untying your knot,
Yeah, untying my knot, and I'm just kind of flying around this shit.
flying around.
I'm just full drowsy, or not drowsy, but full just gloom.
Full gloom. You do have a splitting headache, but the hair of the dog is helping. Before we continue, though, it is a new day, so Zarai, why don't you give me this d20 roll? Just a straight d20.
I don't wanna. 16.
Sorry, guys, my dog bothered me.
16.
Pisces
Scratching at the door.
it. And dog bothering you is always okay.
Dogs are adorable. Look at
He's
that
bored.
dog there.
He's
Oh, but
bored.
look at the happy tail.
They're so cute and adorable.
Anyway, continue. I'm listening.
7. Okay. There is an hour to the port. You all doing anything on the boat, so do we skip ahead to the port area?
Oh, if we're skipping ahead to the port area, I'm gonna make sure to like get real low once we get closer. Just having flashbacks of the last city.
How about you land?
No,
No. Okay.
I'm being extra cautious about it, making sure I'm not like being too like literally I'm like 5 feet off the ground, kind of a deal. But I'm still just kind of flying. Maybe not doing circles now, but
We're right next to the Harpy Wood.
Is anyone else doing anything on the boat during that hour time frame, or?
Nah, finishing up my yoga, getting my armor on.
Reading the herbalism tome.
Herbalism tome, prologue, anything from you? Just finishing your rations.
Finish my rations, chilling on the ground.
Okay. And then Ubisize, you're probably just standing.
Yep. Statue mode.
Cool. Statue mode. That's what we should call it from now on. Statue mode.
Yeah. Statue mode.
And
Not a
that
flinch.
case, when you get up to the docks, Zarai, give me a sneak check. Stealth.
That is a whopping 19.
A whopping 19. It's a good check, too. Ah. Okay. Sorin, as everyone's approaching, he looks around. Where'd your flying friend go? He should probably land on the boat. If they see him flying, they'll shoot him.
I'll do a quick look, see if I can seize our eye.
Good luck. The one good roll I have. It's not even a good roll. I just have a good modifier.
Yeah. No.
No. You can't see him. When you look around, you can't find Zarai.
Anyone see Zara anywhere?
Let's see, you can beat my stealth modifier.
If anyone's looking around, you have to do perception checks. See if you can spot the Zarai.
He's a hidden one.
16.
16, not quite enough. You can't see Zarai.
Well, I trust him to stay hidden if he's going to be around, so otherwise I'm a little worried he might have gone back for Steve. Keep an eye out for him. And I'm going to get ready for docking.
Yep. All right. You get to a point where just kind of off at a bit of an angle, there's what seems to be a bit of a smaller dockyard. Beyond it is an unwalled city. When you look inside, there's disheveled houses put in different locations. Off in one area, there's a barricaded with those spikes. What are those called? Like spikes planted into the ground, but facing outwards to stop cavalry charges and all that. Location, and when you see inside, there's individuals going through what looks to be drilling formations of some kind. The people you see walking around, they look a little rough and tough. Like their occupation, the stuff that people do in this town is hard work that makes people hardy. It's close to the morning time. A lot of people are getting up. Busy, bustling city. On the dock area, there are 3 individuals who were previously at first moving around talking about other things, but when they saw the boat approaching, they came up to one of the ports to wait for the boat to dock. Everyone give me some perception checks.
17.
17?
12.
12, 6. Negative number for Anubis-I, or 1, I think.
No, or a natural one, yeah.
Unnatural.
15.
15. Yolandriel and Zarai, when the approach starts to happen, Zarai, you're still kind of gliding, coasting in an area that no one else can see you. You look over at the dock. The one in the front, who looks to be a bit more well-dressed gnome, is looking at the boat, waiting, and then one of the guards flinches, looks, and then makes direct eye contact with you, Zarai. Smacks the gnome and starts screaming and yelling something. You can all now see that they're panicking on the dockyard. One of the other guards pulls out his bow and starts screaming at them like, "You're being followed! You're being followed!" As he draws an arrow to draw back and shoot at Zarai.
Okay, I'm
I
just
have a
going to
reaction to
sigh
it at all?
audibly and not say anything to the group. I'm just going to go,
Say, Once again, take your medicine.
Eat your medicine.
The group's not doing anything about it.
I mean, Praspidus is just sitting here going.
He doesn't learn.
Alright.
The guard launches his arrow. He misses. But now the other one's drawing his crossbow out as he's getting in closer in range. And the other one's knocking an arrow. What are you doing, Zorai? They are shooting at you again.
I'm just gonna dive into the water.
I told you not to fly, but hey.
Brolog leans over to Paraspidus and says, "Would you like me to end them?"
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, so I'm like diving in the water, and I'm like, what's just going
No.
through my head, just so you're aware. I'm just gonna try to like swim ashore and hopefully sneak back to the party. But we'll see how that actually turns out.
No.
When you dive into the water, everyone else, you hear the guards start yelling, "It dived into the water! It's in the water!" And they start examining the water area, looking very carefully. Soren's like, "What's following us? What's going on? Why? Okay, we're coming in!"
I'm gonna lean to Anubis and ask, how long do you think he can hold his breath for?
Probably not long enough.
Yeah, probably. Oh. We'll wait until he resurfaces, and then we'll stop him.
But we'll try and stop him when we dock.
When I dive under, do I see any animals under there, like in the water, at any distance?
Not
like, well, I guess
really.
within.
I mean, you're...
For specific reasons, within. Oh, there's no distance limit on it. It's a ridge.
So you're closer to the dock area, disturbed earth area. Give me a perception check with disadvantage. The water's not entirely clear where you're at.
6.
6. You can't see any fish around. And by the way, when you're in water, you're in difficult terrain. You're 120 feet out from the dockyard, and you can only move half your speed.
Okay.
Screw it. No, Brolog, act like we're being followed by a harpy. I draw my sword and I get ready to dock and everything, and I ask them where it is. Where is it?
Brolog pulls out his axe.
We saw it dive in just behind you. We've got our eyes on the water. Just focus on docking.
All right. And I'm going to sheath my sword and I'm going to help Soren dock the boat.
Soren is panicked, like he doesn't understand. He's moving the wheel, looking around. He's like, you'll protect me, right?
Yes, absolutely. We've got your back. Don't worry about anything. We've got your defense.
Okay, give me a persuasion check. I like making.
I got a natural 20.
Oh,
by the way.
All right, what's
persuasion?
That total of?
Persuasion. What is persuade? There it is. Persuasion. 21.
21. He's definitely comforted by what you said. He begins to stand up a little bit more straight. His hands are not physically shaking anymore. And he looks and he starts focusing on docking the boat. He's like, all right, when I need you, hit that. And he points at a lever.
Awesome. I get ready.
Brolog stands next to the helmsman in a defensive pose.
Nice. Yolandriel and Ubasai, you guys doing anything specific?
Nope.
I am watching the shit show unfold.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just enjoying the time. Zorai.
I can't do anything
Okay.
technically.
So, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud. It's got a 120-foot range.
Hang on.
It's a concentration check while swimming. All right. Yep.
While holding your breath.
Yep, that's what I was going to say, if I can come back.
Got a
was
verbal
surprised you-
component.
Cast that underwater.
Well, I'm going to come up to the surface, or at least close enough that I can see him.
There is a specific to this spell that I want to make sure. Because if you're casting it under the water, it's not going to disperse. the way you think it will.
I'm not casting it underwater.
Okay.
I am personally underwater, but that's not where I'm casting the fog cloud at.
All right.
I'm casting it where they are, at the edge of the dock.
At the edge of the dock. So you're poking your head up then.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like poking it up and then just like, boom,
Give
like popping.
me a stealth to see if you could avoid being spotted as you poke your head up.
14.
14. All right. You poke your head up. They continue scanning around. Doesn't look like any of them saw you. Well, actually, I suppose he would be looking at
Yeah,
this point
roll
too.
for that.
The guards are scanning around the water, looking at places. As the official gnome in the front, there! And he points at the water directly at you.
And I cast fog cloud.
Fog cloud
Fog
on that
cloud.
area.
Lightning
You will-
bolt.
The rest of
lightning
you
bolt,
see as you're
lightning-
approaching this dock, the dock just randomly begins to get fogged up in this 20-foot radius. They do.
And I take flight.
They do get 2 shots
Mm.
at disadvantage because of the fog cloud. So that one will miss. And does a 15 hit your AC?
It does. I'm a weak boy.
That's fine, I rolled minimum damage. You take 3 points of piercing damage as a crossbow bolt slides into your shoulder blade. And he said then you're launching off
Taking
and
flight.
taking flight? Okay.
And yeah, I don't know how much movement I have or where I am in
It's
relation to the
alright.
boat, but I'm gonna try to
Land
get back to. I'm gonna
next
try to
to
get
us
to the boat.
now.
I'm gonna try to get back to the boat.
As you launch off,
I'm pulling out the arrow as I'm.
yeah, pulling it out, going to the boat, you hear off in the distance again someone else going, "Harpy! Harpy! Harpy!" Then town bells
I'm gonna
begin
just-
to start ringing. Ding, 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 ding.
At this point, your Landrill's like,
Can I kind of like,
Jesus.
if I shout, can like one of them hear me? Or like the
One of
like,
them would,
people on the
you-
dock hear me?
Uh,
Can I like? Is there like
Probably.
a voice where? Is there like a voice range where someone on the boat can hear me and not someone on the docks can hear me?
loud dock. You're gonna have to
Loud.
shout it out. The likelihood is there's probably people on the dock who will be able to hear you too. The boat's close to that port area where those 3 individuals who are now in that fog cloud. By the way, Constitution saving throw to maintain that fog cloud, because you got hit by the arrow. Concentration. That's it.
Using your con mod.
But if the boat can hear you, those 3 officials will probably be able to hear you.
And it's gonna be 8.
8. The fog
Alright,
cloud
can I, like, try to-
dissipates.
And can I try to make eye contact with someone on the boat? Is there any like?
They're on the
kinda
boat.
just,
Whether or
like-
not they're looking your direction is entirely up to them.
Precipice is looking right at Zarai.
All right, I'm gonna kind of try. I'm gonna try to actually do it so like it has like see if it's actually workable. I'm gonna be like,
So your fog cloud,
Like-
by the way, you failed that con save. The fog cloud's dissipated.
Yeah, the
now.
fog cloud is gone.
So
Everyone-
those,
Yeah, I
those
know.
3 at the port, they can see you again. Of which one of them is now knocking another arrow, and the crossbow's being reloaded.
Don't shoot.
I'm like trying to like very subtly, like basically tell Percy to attack me and bring me down. Or is that not conveyable
Zorai-
through like?
So real quick, let me get this in. Zarai, make a performance check. Praspitis, do an intelligence check.
Would it be insight?
Insight. Insight's better. Do
Of
an
which I
insight.
am proficient with.
Do an insight check. Anubisai, for what you said, do a persuasion check. Because when you say that, they're yelling, "Are you kidding? It's a fucking RP!"
17.
17.
7.
Okay, I'm gonna slap Anubis side
Hang
and
on.
be like,
Praspitis, what's your roll?
I got an insight of 20. Dirty.
30?
Dirty 20.
You understand what he's trying to tell you. Yolandriel?
Alright.
yeah, I'm just slapping Anubis side to shut her up. I was just like,
Hands.
pink.
It's a kink. Oh,
And then I'm going to reach over at Brolog and say, "There it is," and wink.
Oh,
He's not gonna
to the
understand that.
densest character in the party, yes.
Brolog, do an insight check
wink.
to see if you can
My
understand this
insight's
wink.
good, but my performance is not.
Oh, neither is mine. I got really lucky.
10.
10. He's winked at you. You don't fully understand why. The other two on the docks, they are shooting again. That's only a
Burlock takes
10,
out his
misses.
axe and starts moving towards the dock.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
gonna-
good interpretation.
A 17 to hit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this entire thing go down and I'm like,
4 points of piercing damage as another crossbow bolt meets your thigh.
Hmm.
All right, and
I'm
then
gonna
look
be
at
like-
Percy and I wink.
At this
Okay.
point, Soren says, "Now!"
Oh, I grab the lever and I yank it because I almost forgot.
Your
And
moment
then-
of, what? Oh!
Oh,
You hear this as the anchor gets lowered away, it hits the ground, boat begins slowing, meets the port area, and noble gnome runs up and is like, "Throw me the rope! Throw me the rope!" He's waving at anyone on the deck, saying, "Throw me the rope."
someone nearby the deck.
Bro,
I
grabs
grab the rope. Oh, okay, you go for it.
Burlock's already moving towards the dock. He grabs the rope, throws it to the deck, and then jumps onto the dock with his axe out.
He grabs the rope and starts tying it off briskly, looking at you. He's like, "I don't know where you are, but I hope you're not like the harpies." Oh, wrong voice, but okay.
Burlock takes a look at Paraphatus.
Prophetess shakes his head. No, not them, not them.
There's more shouts on the dockyard. Zorai, what are you doing at this point?
I'm waiting for Percy to attack me.
I can't.
If he
'cause I
got- if
don't
he got
have
what I was
ranged
saying.
weaponry. I don't have any ranged weaponry though. That's the problem.
So at this point, you realize I'm telling the person who doesn't have any ranged weaponry to attack me. What
Can I,
am I
like-
doing?
Kind of like eyeballing towards, because I know your Landria is gonna get a kick out of it, getting a chance to attack me, even if it is fake. So I'm like trying to, and I do another lap of the boat, I guess.
Just
you know,
land
like, while
on the
not
boat
moving.
by us.
At this point, there are more
Don't be
individuals who
fishy.
are pulling out ranged weapons and aiming them your direction.
Alright, I'm done. I'm flying down to the boat when I see the next car come out because this is not working.
Okay, as soon as he lands, I'm got something to do.
I'm gonna
He-
provide cover.
A lot of people, they bring their crossbows and bows down as you land on the boat, and then they stop, seeing that there's no hostility coming from anyone on the boat.
Oh no, there's gonna be hostility in about 0.2 seconds
Okay, when he
because
lands-
I'm picking up my halberd and I'm knocking him out just like straight like pink as
Hey.
hard as I can.
That would be an attack roll doing non-lethal damage.
I can't see him winding up.
You
to
can
do
see
this.
him, but this would be a surprise from you probably. You're not expecting your own teammates to start attacking you.
Yeah,
But I am because they all just turned on me the night before.
yeah.
I don't like anyone. I don't like anyone on this crew this right now.
Yeah, but we're the
Because
ones
they
saving
all
your
just
life.
let it happen.
So is it just I don't get advantage because I'm
You don't get advantage.
surprising him with this?
You don't get advantage on this.
Okay, well does a 19 hit you?
Yeah, it does. It hits.
Okay, non-lethal, of course. I deal 12 damage.
12 non-lethal. He cracks you over the head. Everything starts to kind of go black, but you still maintain your consciousness. Your head's throbbing, and you want to sleep. You want to sleep.
I whisper, go to sleep.
I don't want it.
Okay, I wind up for a second one.
I moved to grapple.
The two by the port are getting off their shots. Seeing that there is hostility
well,
coming from
that's
your
not good.
Londriel, they will maintain and continue firing.
Yeah, I was trying to play it off like knock this guy out, and then we drag him
Is there any way I
away
can put
and hide
myself
him.
between them?
Yeah, an Ubasai, if you'd like to try to put
I'm
yourself in
just
between
playing
them.
my character,
I'm putting
y'all.
myself in between them.
Okay.
Yeah, but your character's an idiot.
Kinda.
The one who's shooting the bow, he's
Been
missed
drinking
every
all
single
day.
shot. Like he's a terrible shot. The one with the crossbow though, when you put yourself in between an Ubasai, there's a clink as the crossbow bolt hits your armor just in time.
Okay, I'm gonna
How much damage?
hold back on this next hit,
Prologue.
and I'm gonna look at him like, go to sleep. Sorry, go ahead, Brolog.
Brolog puts away his axe, runs up to the bowman, makes himself as big as possible with his ears out, and seeks to intimidate them with a trumpet roar.
Okay, give me an intimidation check.
It's all because you had to fly.
That is a 19.
19. He fumbles with his bow, lowers it a bit, and the one with the crossbow flinches away a bit. The gnome who's tying up is like, "What are you doing?"
I crack him again.
Give me that attack roll.
Boom.
You should be like, take a break right now, cause
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 meets his AC, so yes, that does hit.
Okay, I am trying to do as little damage as this is non-lethal, but I'm trying to
Okay,
do as
good
little damage as
specification.
possible when I do it. What is that? 6 damage.
Crack over the head. Your Londriel collapses. Not your Londriel. Zorai collapses
Zorai.
to the deck.
Okay, I'm gonna ping the halberd down, and then I'm literally just gonna like reach forward and pick up Zorai and throw him over my shoulder.
Unconscious body. Easy to do. You fireman carry him over your shoulders.
Okay, I'm gonna walk off the deck and look at the guards and be like,
Are you on
Yeah.
the wharf now?
yeah, I'm on the wharf,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
gonna say, well, it wasn't a heartbeat, but I did really enjoy that. You won't have to deal with this asshole the rest of the time that we're here. Trust me. And then I'm gonna push past all of them and go straight to the city.
The gnomes. Well, you can't. Alright, who's in charge here?
Prosperous walks forward and says, that flying creature that you were shooting at is, unfortunately, at the moment, one of our compatriots known as Zarai, who
What?
should know better than to be flying near a city.
You should have just told us that. We would have stopped firing at him. For all we knew, he was just a harpy attacking your boat.
I'm gonna call over my shoulder. Yeah, but I like the show.
This is not what I expected when I woke up this morning. Okay. Right. Hello?
Would you like some more surprise?
No,
This is
I
exactly
wouldn't.
what I expected
wouldn't.
when I woke up this morning.
You lead
Hi.
a stressful life. A very stressful life.
Moment.
I don't think I much like it. It's... hey Soren. Hey Parzival. It's, good to see you. It's good to see you too. You got a strange crew on your boat this time. Usual fix? Yeah, usual fix. Alright, I'll get some guards who are looking for transfer then. Right. Hello, my name's Parzival, the dockyard captain. Where is he going exactly? I mean, I do need to register you're all inside this territory. As having arrived on Soren's boat, it's for documentation purposes, but if you're free to roam after that,
I can help you with that. That's Yolandriel and Zarai. Zarai is the flying one you shot, which don't worry. We'll worry about him.
All right, good.
He
good.
won't be a harm for you guys. If anything, if harpies do come around, he'll be right at their throats, ripping them out, because they did just take one of his closest friends from him. So
Well, now I feel even worse. The poor man's just got something taken away from him, and now we're just shooting at him as soon as he gets to the town. Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
really, don't worry about it, because he was flying. We know you are wary of flying creatures, so
He knows it.
Hi.
anyway, we'll worry about him. We'll heal him up and everything. We've got that covered, so don't worry about that.
Alright, just make sure he...
Yolandra's probably going for an inn.
Okay, good. Good. Jinnikin. The one with the bow, who's still looking at Brolog, still very scared of Brolog.
Brolog is still seeking to scare it.
He's very scared. Go check with Yolandriel and make sure he finds the boar's head. All right, yeah, absolutely. He runs off very quickly away from the area. The one with the crossbow is still standing there. He looks frozen in place, just terrified of what's in front of him. Right, and when he's awake again, thank you for... I guess thank you. I don't even know. You attacked him. You're a very strange group. When he is awake, make sure he doesn't fly around the camp, the military camp. They won't listen to reason of any kind, and they'll just keep shooting anything they don't understand. They're military people. That's what they do. So make sure he doesn't do that.
Of course.
Good. We can't accept any responsibility for anything that happens here. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. The normal works. I'm sure you've heard all of it inside the other towns. What my last job here to do is to get your names, write them down, and say, welcome to Madrim.
Yes. This points at the massive beast that is scaring everyone. This is Brolog. Brolog, you can stand down now. We don't need to scare them anymore. He's here with us as well. And then this is Anubisai, who is also currently here with us. And I am Paraspidus.
You're not from here.
No, we are not. We came from across the ocean.
All right, which ocean? East or west?
Points back the
west
direction we came.
West. Oh,
That
west
was
side.
west. Yes, west.
Very good. Fantastic. Welcome, I guess. How long have you been? Did you just sail up the river and find full, or you
Oh
new
no.
town?
We actually at this point, if he's got somewhere to go and sit down or write things down and whatnot, I'm going to follow him there. But I launch into a description. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I launch into a description of how we got here, meeting the Chancellor, going from there to Volm, and then hitching a ride with Sarin up.
Okay. Real quick, Anubisai, what are you doing? Staying on the boat, following after?
Oh, I'll follow.
Follow. Okay. As you're going along, he listens to this and nods, replies, and eventually a very well-equipped elf comes walking straight up in a very swift pace to your group and says, "Right, what was all this nonsense I heard about a harpy flying around?" "Oh, Captain, no, it's all right. It was just a misunderstanding. It wasn't a harpy. It was one of their companions just flying around." "Flying? Then it was a harpy. We don't have any other flying creatures around this territory." It's like,
Oh, she better
You
not
don't.
come and find me.
So then, what was it?
Tiefling, actually.
I'm talking about things that are real, not mythical creatures. What are you?
Yes.
As
I'm
he looks
gonna
over
look
the
him-
rest of the party.
I'm gonna look him up and
No
down, and then I'm
mythical
gonna look
creatures
over
here.
at Brolog, and then I'm gonna look back at him, and then I'm gonna look over at Anub. You followed us, right, Anubisai?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna look over at Anubisai, and then go look back at him and go, "Yeah, we're mythical creatures, just so you know."
Huh. Apparently you look very much like it. Right, I'll need names, locations, where you're from, your ranks and files, all the information. Any kind of disturbance needs to be thoroughly documented.
I gesture at the nice gnome fellow that I just had the conversation with and say, I've already given him our names and where we're from and the general lowdown. Not going to bother repeating myself with you.
I'll have a report for you later, Captain. You'd better. I expect that by the end of the day. Right, if there's no more disturbances.
Oh, there will be.
Takes a good strong look at your group. Anubisai, when he looks at you, there is a very palpable level of disdain in his eyes as he wanders off.
Warlock reaches for his axe.
Now, Brolog. Calm down. I'm in armor. They don't like people in armor. We'll have to put up with this until we leave the area. Captain's just doing his job. He's supposed to be suspicious of everything he doesn't understand. And I'm saying all this out loud.
Warlock releases his axe.
Okay. They wander off, the gnomes. Sorry about him, that's Captain Hag doing. He seems to always have a stick up his ass.
I can tell. Does he have a lot of calibrations to do?
Calibrations? What?
Ah, never mind. Anyway, the boar's head. Which direction do I go for that?
Oh, that's gonna be just, he gives you directions through the very dusty town.
This was where we were told that we could possibly get a map, right?
Yes, this is Mardrum.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mardrum. Perfect. Second question, before I head off to the boar's head myself, I intend to check in on... I was told there would be cartographers here,
Oh,
and I
hey.
may be able to get a map of the area.
Yeah. There's, just, hang on, I've got to check my notes and actually make sure Okay, yeah. So, it's actually just a little ways from the Boar's Head. It's, you go just down this street and down that one, and then there's a small building. It looks cramped. It is cramped. Probably only one of you will fit in there. Natalia, she'll take care of you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And then I look at Anubisai and Brolog, and I say, I'm going to head to the Boar's Head, check in on Yorlandriel and Zarai, make sure Zarai is all right, and Yorlandriel is good. And then I'm going to go get a map that we desperately need. And that's the direction I start heading.
Follow.
Okay, Yorlandriel. When you walk out from the port, you have an unconscious Zarai on your back. A lot of people give you some interesting looks as they see this winged, pale figure drooped over your shoulders that has horns on its head. And then they notice that you are carrying this creature, and you look very, very similar to a human.
And then they notice all the symbols of Veshnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at each one of them like...
It's a degrading part. As you keep going through, more and more people are paying attention to you.
Okay, I whisper as if I'm talking to Zorai, even though he's unconscious and can't talk to me. I say, where the fuck are these people's problems? And then I keep walking and find the inn.
Give me a investigation, because you're looking specifically for the inn. See if you can find it in this town. As I change the sound.
Hmm. 12.
12. Not too hard to find. It's not that big of a city in areas. At the point you find the inn, it's hanging. It says Boar's Head Inn. There's a couple of people who walk in before you. You also notice that at this point you've gained a tail. A couple of tails. A couple of guards have started following you.
Well, I walk into the inn. I go to the innkeeper and ask, you wouldn't happen to have a broom closet that locks from the outside, would you?
This kind of hard of life looking halfling looks up and she says, broom closet that locks from the outside? What, you planning on throwing your friend in there?
Exactly. He has a habit of causing problems in every single town we walk
Ever.
into. So I thought I'd take care of this little problem before it starts and put him in a broom closet. I can pay, of course, for the time, but
Oh. All right. I'll happily rent out my broom closet for something like that, sure. Just one night? How many nights are you looking? Are you looking for a room for yourself too?
when the rest of my party gets here, we'll discuss that. I don't think he'll be in there for the night, but at least for the rest of the day, I think. He's gonna need to be put on timeout.
All right. I'll give you my standard storage fee then. That's 2 copper. And you can put them in that one. Here's the key. Puts the key on the counter.
I grab the key, I give her 1 silver instead of 2 copper.
As the party does. Every time.
And I say, thanks for the trouble and for the assistance, I guess. And I walk to the closet, I open it up, and I pull him off of my back and throw him in there. And then I
It's-
reach down and I heal him for 3 using my healing hands. There's like a sound that comes out of my hands. And then hopefully he wakes from unconsciousness so I
He
can
will.
say something to him before I slam and lock the door.
From that, Zorai, you wake up in a very uncomfortable position inside a broom closet. There's brooms, there's a bucket, there's a couple of coats perked up on little wood pipe things, and you see your Laundriel standing at the door, hand on the door, looking down at you after having just healed you for 3 points.
I'm going to say, listen, I know you're going through a lot because of Steve, but you almost got yourself killed and you almost caused us a lot of problems coming into this town. So for the next, and I kind of sit there for a second, I'm like, 8 to 10 hours, this is where you're going to be. And I shut the door and I lock it. And I plan on giving the key to Paraspidus so that way he can decide how long he wants to keep him in there. Oh, and then I give it a little knock and I'm like, I'll get some water and some food brought to you later.
The door shuts. There's a clicking sound. You hear that knock and what he says. After that, your Laundriel, the halfling behind the counter, looks over and almost got killed. That's. You guys sound like you're having a fun time in this place already.
Yep, he can fly, so that's what he does. And every single time, he almost gets shot out of the sky. And I don't know when he's going to learn. I say as I sit down at the bar.
She begins pouring an ale, puts it in front of you, and so where are you all from? And just begins engaging you in general talk.
I'm going to say, from another continent, Andrea.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, neither had I 3 years ago, but Here I am.
So then Andrea's not where you're from. That's just where you came from.
Yep. Pretty
Did we
much.
not come from Qualia?
Or yeah, am
Quayla,
I saying the
Quayla.
wrong
You're
continent?
saying
name?
Andrea.
Quayla.
Andrea's where
That's
you
what I
landed,
meant to
yeah.
say. Yep.
Awkward. I think
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
even catch that. Good catch, Pete.
Switch them around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah.
We're allowed to care about places and names, but
Peter does.
Peter does. So, Quayla, what's it like? War torn, I expect, like everywhere else.
The part where I was from, or at least not from, but where I had been, wasn't that bad. Didn't really spend too much time exploring while I was there.
Let me guess. You spent your time locked away in a monastery.
Yep. I say, and I take a drink, and then I pull the halberd out, and I like set it down, leaning against the bar, and I'm like, even though it's 10:30 in the morning, this drink is nice.
Give me a perception
Hey.
check.
That's good. That is a 21.
21. When you do that, people don't necessarily like reach for any weapons of any kind, but you notice you definitely get the attention of quite a few tables. And when you take a look at the occupants, it looks like they're off-duty guards at this time, or military people on leave for the moment from the campment. In town for a couple of drinks. Most of them are now watching you. She notices you looking around the halfling and says, "Don't worry about them. As long as you're in here, nothing's gonna happen to you."
Oh, I'm not worried about them at all. And I
Perfect.
take another drink, and I set it down.
Like,
Continue,
Cocky
sorry.
man, then. That's nice. This is probably about the time that the rest of you will be arriving at the Boar's Head.
All right. The moment I walk in and notice your Landriel, I go right for him. So,
Following on.
where's Zarai?
I'm going to point at the broom closet and then pull out the key and hand it to Praspitus as I say, I told him he'd be in there for 8 to 10 hours, but you decide. I just thought I'd let him sweat it out a little bit.
I'm going to look down at the key and I'm going to remember how he reacted to us getting him out of the drunk tank.
Very
And I'm going to think
small
about the
room.
fact that he's a winged creature. And I'm going to remember many things about winged creatures and tight spaces. And I'm going to go, you know, if he didn't have wings and he didn't have, I don't know, other aspects, I'd leave him in
Alcoholism.
there, but
Wings, alcoholism.
him out.
I'm going to say, he's not a bird.
No, but you didn't get to see exactly how he reacted to us taking him out of the drunk tank. And then I'm going to go and open the door.
Okay, I'm going to say, that completely defeats the purpose of why I put him in there. He needs to learn a lesson.
He won't.
He's not an animal either.
Yeah, but he's...
You sure about that?
I looked out at Zara and I go, how are you feeling? Probably awful.
I hate this group.
Besides just muttering in the background.
I'm sure I got a whole bunch of new eyes on me now.
Oh yeah, the crowd, the people in this tavern, they don't know who to focus on. There's too many new things to take in and try to judge. A few of them might be actually getting themselves into ready positions should anything happen. But they're
I
all...
just get up and oh, we're still going.
No,
do I
they're-
notice their readiness? Does Brolock notice their
Give me a
readiness?
perception check.
$17.
17. you notice a few of the tables' readiness. They're not acting, but they're ready.
Brolog takes out his axe and steps in.
Few of
We
them
love this
stand up
town.
and start taking their swords out. And an individual, a larger dragonborn. But before this, while that's happening, Zara, you had something.
Yeah, like after Percy unlocks the door, I don't say anything. I just get up and find a dark corner, secluded area of the bar, and I just go, or the inn, and I just go sit there by myself with my cast flask in hands.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm gonna look at Paraspatus and I'm gonna say, he's not gonna learn a lesson. This is gonna keep happening. Like a father whose wife is not listening to his techniques of parenting. I'm just like, this is not gonna fix anything. You keep allowing it to happen.
At this point, everyone give me, except for Brolog, because you've already made this perception check. Everyone else give me perception checks. That's a bad roll from
I got
Percy.
a natural
18.
one.
Ooh.
16.
16,
18.
18, Anubisai, Braspatus, to a total of
Natural one, total of 3.
3,
4.
4. Okay, so your Londriel and Zorai, you would notice this. Don't know how much your Zorai would care at this, just drinking that cast flask. But you notice a few of the individuals have gotten up and they've drawn their swords in response to Brolog drawing his axe. Paraspatus, you're too focused on what your Londriel's saying to you to notice any of this going on. And Ubasai, you're still probably grumbling. It's like, I hate this group. Not really focusing on anything around you. But then you notice you see a larger looking dragonborn stand up, begin walking over, gets up to you, Brolog, and says, "You might want to put that away. The rest of these people don't much care for that. And they're gonna sit down and mind their own business now." The people put their weapons away, sit down, and begin minding their own business as chatter in the inn begins forming up again. Sorry about them. They're just always on edge. They don't like any kind of new people, but I love it. My name's Shuffian.
Brolog grunts. Puts
Who are
his
you
axe
all?
away.
She looks at you, Brolong. Name's Shuffian. What's yours?
I'm Brolog.
Good to meet you, Brolog. As for the rest of you weirdos,
Your Landrill, I say as I turn from the group and continue to drink.
I look a little confused for a moment, and then I go, Praspidus. And then I take a seat, look at the bartender, and say, drinks for the winged one in the corner are on me.
all
You
right?
keep just letting it happen,
What,
Rasputin. It's not going to get any better.
What strength?
Keep it low.
Keep it low.
Keep it low.
Okay, I'm going to lean to the bartender and I'm going to say, give him water.
I respect what you're getting at, but water doesn't give me money. 2 copper.
I slide her over a gold coin, and I say, and I'd like a strong drink if you've got one.
The strongest I've got is worth 5 gold.
I slide her over 5 more gold, actually.
Oh.
So she got 6 from me.
Hey, Shufian, make sure they stick around, okay? She takes the gold, pours out a strong drink for you, just this 2 ounces of the strong brew. Slides it over and gets another one. Shufian's looking around. You guys are definitely new here. Already getting into some trouble. Though, from the way you all look, I'm not surprised.
That's an understatement. I'm going to down that strong drink like it's been a long day.
Constitution saving throw from you.
I'm going to say to the Dragonborn, not looking at the group still, And I just completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say
About me.
yeah, strange group of people in a strange land. Bound to be trouble.
Second natural one in a row.
2
Nice.
total love.
1. Because I have a Constitution saving throw of 0.
He
0.
passes out, hitting
Boom.
his head on the edge of the bar.
Press
It's a
Just
bad day.
Takes this shot.
That hit the spot.
Just head right onto the counter. The halfling goes down in 1. Wow.
This gets me to chuckle on the other side of the room.
I like immediately turn at Zorai and I'm like, "Hey, nobody asked you." And then I'm gonna turn back around because
Bro,
I'll
your
bite my
Landriel's
thumb at you,
in full daddy mode right now.
Prologue.
Brolog throws Paraspidus on his shoulder, turns to the barkeep, and says, "Do you have a room?"
She's currently laughing. Yeah, I've got a room. It's 6 copper for a single stay in the room.
Brolog gives him 6 copper
She
and takes Paraspidus to the room.
she takes the 6 copper, chuckles a bit more, and is, do the rest of you need rooms? You're... I would love it if you all
Mhm.
stayed here forever. You've been entertaining already, made my dull, dreary life better. Ah, don't say that. Your life's fun enough. With you drinking here every day? Hell no, it's not. More expensive than anything.
Yeah, we'll all need a room. Zorai can stay with someone else though. Watch him throughout the night. I say as I'm kind of looking at Brolog like,
Brolog's walked off already.
Prologue's walked
"Oh,
off.
he's already walked off."
He's already
Okay.
walked off with Praspitus over his shoulders, getting into
Oh yeah,
a
that's
room.
right. Then I'm gonna look at Anubisai. That is who I
Shaking my
volunteer for
head
this.
no already.
And I'm like, too bad. And I look at the bartender and I'm like, they are roomies. And I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna slap a couple copper down for my drink, and I'm also going to leave.
I would be 6 copper for a room for her to give you a key for 1.
Okay. I slap that shit down.
Also, I just want this to be said. I'm not looking to get really, really drunk. I'm just like slowly dulling the pain. Not like
Dulling the pain.
excessively drinking. I'm just drinking. Like,
Are you very openly sorrowed right now? Like very openly depressed?
I got that 1,000-yard stare.
Okay. Your Laundriel and Anubisai, you would see this. They're not trying to hide it at all, but the halfling kind of looks at Shufi and does this nudge in Zarai's direction. She looks and goes. She walks Zarai's direction and then just sits at the table, drinking her own drink, and doesn't say anything, just joins you at the table. And that is where we should actually take a break.
Cool. Perfect.
What is it with you all getting drunk in the bloody morning? The day hasn't even gone
It
by.
this wasn't even my fault.
Yeah,
Kind of, I
it
guess.
was.
But
It was 100% your fault. That's the only reason why I went to the inn was to lock you in a room closet for a day.
Well, we're going to take a break, and then we'll get back to this nonsense and what they're all doing and this fun stuff. We'll see you all in just a bit here, yeah? welcome back. Everyone's inside the inn having a good old dandy time. What are you all doing? Praspetus, you're out cold inside a room. Brolog, are you standing watch?
Yes, guarding the Bardi.
Okay. And Zara, you're sitting in the dark corner drinking quietly to yourself. Okay. Nubasai and your Laundriel, what are you two doing?
I'm leaving to go find a map because I was walking out.
I mean, I still have what's her face there, like across
Shifian.
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's sitting quietly drinking with you. Nubasai?
Statue mode.
Statue mode. Let's hop to your Laundriel first then.
Mm-hmm.
As you begin to walk around. Are you wearing your cloak at all?
Oh, no. I'm kind of
No.
over that now. I'm kind of like over that now.
Okay. Soon after leaving the Boar's Head, you notice that those two guards who had started tailing you are tailing you again.
And for note, I definitely picked up my halberd and restrapped it on before I left. I did not leave that at the bar. Yeah, I just ignore them. I go try and find a cartographer.
All right, give me an investigation.
Pretty positive I know what my modifier is for that. 2.
It takes you a while to find. When you're walking around some of these buildings, they look kept up, but still a little run down. You can tell individuals live there. There are families who run around. Children going from place to place. Mothers chasing down or going about their business. Fathers going about their business too. Anything there in between as well, wandering around. There are several groups of people you walk past who are carrying picks. They look well muddied, gross, as if they've been mining for a good time. And they have with them carrying carts of materials, minerals, and ores and the like inside this cart behind them. You see all this as you're going through. You manage to find where like a general store would be, but you're looking for the cartographer. Eventually, you do run across a building where the cartographer is. And the guards the entire time, they stay with you. They don't approach, but they stay, very obviously following you.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like stand in front of the cartographer building, and then I'm gonna look at the guards, and I'm gonna be like, a couple more minutes of that, I would have asked you boys for some help, and then I'm gonna walk in.
They don't give any sign of acknowledgement as you walk into the building. Inside, bless you, is it's a busy area. There are bookshelves with lots of scrolls, lots of things wrapped up. There's an area where like a map's completely unveiled, and it's of one of the other islands, very beautifully made, elegant in every way. And a elven woman who's wearing these big old glasses, long, disheveled, curly hair, looks like it's not kept up in any way, currently looking over a map and is painting it very delicately.
Okay, I'm going to wait until like she's got like a quill pen off of paper, like when she's going to get more ink, to interrupt her.
Okay. And what are you saying?
I'm just gonna say, excuse me, ma'am. Looking to buy a map.
She, as she's dipping, startles, almost tips over the top of ink and stops. And, oh, that could have been so bad. I've been working on this for weeks.
Tried to catch you at a better moment, but I miscalculated there.
Thank you, all the same. Okay, you look. Here is what? She just kind of mumbling to herself as she's staring directly at you. with this shocked look on her face.
Okay, I'm just gonna let her mumble for a couple beats, and then I'm gonna say, as I was saying, just a map of the entire continent. Doesn't have to be super detailed, just
I don't think they'll smile too much on me selling to a human.
well, not technically human, so there you go.
I guess that makes it better. Okay, just of the continent, just this continent. You're looking for a continental Andrea.
Yeah. If there happens to be a map with the Northern Islands, that'd work out perfectly too. We already kind of have a map of that, but not super accurate. But just let me see what you got.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I have any of the Northern Islands right now. I'm still waiting on some documentations of that. She kind of stands up, shuffles out from behind where she is, and goes through some bookshelves and pulls out this scroll. It's like, this one I made a few weeks back. It's personally designed. And she unfurls it on the desk for you to examine, which I have just now changed your roll 20 to the map.
Okay. I am gonna nod my head. And I'm gonna say, well, I enjoy your craftsmanship. Yeah, I guess this will work. How much?
For this quality of one, considering the time I put into it and the paints I used, I'd say maybe 30 gold.
Okay. I plop down 35.
As the party does. I should make a
God,
command
I
for
hope
that,
we
as
run
the
out of
party
money.
does. She looks at the money, counts, and thank you. It's a little extra is always appreciated. You're definitely not human. They're not this kind.
At least not the ones from around here.
They're in different places. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, my parents were human. And I'm gonna, at that
Oh.
point, grab the scroll, roll it up, and then leave.
She just, no response. Like, her mouth moves a few times to try to utter words to respond to what you're saying, but doesn't manage to get one out. When you leave, the guards are right up to the door. They're much closer. One of them's just eating an apple. They don't say anything to you. They just look at you and wait for you to start walking.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, man, I really hope they're paying you boys enough to follow me around all day.
Only responses you get is the loud snap of the apple being bitten into.
I'm just gonna, actually,
Here we go.
Actually, so it
Famous
begins.
last words.
I'm gonna find a blacksmith. I think.
Okay. There were a few blacksmiths he passed by. There's definitely a couple of places that you can tell that dabbled in smithing works.
Okay, does Zora use a crossbow or a bow and arrow?
Longbow.
Longbow.
Longbow?
So bow.
Okay, I am gonna walk in and ask the blacksmith if he's got any longbows for sale of good quality.
He looks at you and longbows. I have got longbows. Don't think I should be selling to a human though. People here much don't like your kind.
As I told the cartographer lady, not technically humans, so I think you might be able to squeak past on that one.
Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 0.
Oh. Wow. He laughs and just, right, get out.
Okay, I'm just gonna immediately look at him, and then I'm gonna like stretch out like this, and then like my wings are gonna come out as I go into like full form. I'm gonna say, hold on, let me switch the voice. Like I said, not technically human. Now, do you have any long bows?
With this display of radiant energy in front of him, the windows kind of shine and gleam for a moment. He raises up, eyebrows just shoot straight at him. Well now. And the door bursts open as the two guards who've been following you run in with their weapons drawn, see your form and shape, and they start taking walk around. It's like, no. He's just proven to me that he's not human, which I think you two can't deny. He's not human.
Okay, I'm gonna look at both the guards, and I'm gonna say, interrupting him, I'm gonna say, go ahead and tell the rest of the guards. Anyone who touches me or my party while we're in this town will burn in holy fire.
Intimidation.
All right, switching to clean voice as I roll. 19.
19.
Yep.
One of them shuffles back a bit. The other one, not breaking eye contact with you, shifts back to the door. They both leave through. The door in the blacksmith. Well, you definitely scared them, but that's probably not the best idea. You're gonna have the captain to deal with now, and he does not take that kindly.
I turn off my radiant form, and I'm just like, well, if they leave me the fuck alone, won't be a problem.
Trust me, he's not gonna leave you the fuck alone. Now, you're looking for a longbow.
Yep.
What happened to his? Well, what happened to yours? Did it just break or something? I've got a few, but they're not like mastercraft quality of any kind. It's just gonna be your basic longbow.
I'm gonna say, well, it's a gift. So, if you've got anything fancier, if you know anyone who does.
Elegant. I don't. I personally don't. I don't deal with that kind of stuff. But you could always go a couple of streets down. There's a woodworking building. You'll want to do it quickly. The captain, he'll be on your ass in a few.
I don't care. I say, and I'm going to...
Brave man.
Thank you.
Right.
And I am...
Good luck.
I'm gonna go find that blacksmith.
I have a feeling your Andrea's going to react to the captain the same way Paraspatis did.
So when you're in this corner, the blacksmith's literally just catty corner on the other side of the street. But it's not actually a full-on blacksmith. There is a metalworking location inside this building, but it looks to be more of a woodworking type place. And there's an individual, an elf, who's currently whittling away at some wood. Looks like he's in the process of constructing a longbow.
Okay. I'm gonna walk in and interrupt him and say, I heard from the blacksmith down the way that you're quite the craftsman. Looking for a longbow as a gift.
He looks up and is, well, I'm not supposed to sell to humans, but I don't really care that much.
Okay, I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, third time today, not technically human. About to have to tell your leader of the guard or whatever you guys fucking call him here the same thing. So the quicker we can get this done, the better.
You're telling me. Alright, yeah. What do you want? I've got some basic designs. If you want anything specific, it'll take a couple of days, and it doesn't sound like you've got that kind of time on your hands.
Well, I'm looking for something maybe packs a little bit of an extra punch.
I haven't
For a
got
long
anything
bow.
like that. That will be one of those things that takes a couple of extra days to construct. So, fortunately, I won't be able to do that for you. We've got ones that look nice, though.
All right, let me see them.
He pulls out a few. They're intricate designs. They still would function perfectly like a longbow, but they have like these engravings and different languages, sayings on them. Some bits of it are raised out, but for someone who doesn't necessarily use a longbow, they look very pretty.
Okay, I'm gonna find one that is either dragon themed or some sort of flying creature themed.
I think you need to call it by their name for it. It's the flying fire breathing lizard thing.
It's a flying fire breathing giant scaled one. There is one actually that looks like that. It's red and it looks like it has scales engraved into it a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna say that one. How much?
That one, that was actually one of the easier ones to make, so 65 gold.
Okay, I give him 65 gold.
Take
Oh,
some.
man, I'm gonna have to do some real math on this. Continue.
You want any arrows as well, or does the person you're giving this to have arrows?
He's got arrows, and this is more of an apology. He hasn't really earned arrows from me.
Well, very well. If he at all has time, just send it my way. I've got plenty.
Appreciate it. And if guards come around, well, honestly, I was going to ask you not to tell them where I went, but it doesn't really matter. You do you. And I say goodbye and I leave.
He just gives you a strange look, or like a nonchalant, like I don't really care look as you walk out the building.
I am going to go around the building, put on my cloak, and then go to the inn.
Okay, give me a what would disguise go under? You don't have a disguise kit, so you wouldn't have proficiency in anything of this kind.
Nope.
Either.
I'm just covered up my armor and my head.
Say, give me a stealth then.
Either way, not great. 18, actually, not bad.
18. Okay. All right, you find yourself fairly well covered now that you're covering your facial features, the fact that you look like a human, and the symbol and emblem of Eshnar. You manage to get to the boar's head without any interruption and enter in with Nubazai standing there sentry mode. With this, we'll hop over to Zorai, as Shufian is actually going to begin speaking. So what's got you down in the dumps?
Lost a family member. More so, he was taken from me.
That sucks. Pretty sure I can relate to that. What got him?
Harpies.
Yeah, that's bad. He's probably been skinned and boned and eaten by now. Once it remain implemented into that. Yeah, you probably don't want to hear about that.
My head goes down, and I just one singular tear comes down my cheek after hearing that.
It's like, ah, shit, I fucked up. If it makes you feel better, the humans, they got my family.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of the humans either.
A bunch of pricks they are.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, you can say that.
Squeak.
It gets better, she says as she awkwardly pats your back. It gets a lot better, but drowning yourself in this won't help as soon as you leave this town. Drown yourself in this all you like while you're here. But when you leave, just know the booze doesn't help.
Roll for deception.
Yeah, okay. Continue drinking.
Just kind of looks up and shuffles his shoulders a bit. And the halfling's just like, just sits in quiet for a while again. Nubasai, your Landriel comes through the door, fully cloaked at this point, also holding a very ornate bow.
Sorry, my dog.
Statue mode.
Statue
I don't
mode.
know if you can
still.
hear. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in and walk up to Zorai. And just kind of look at him like, how you doing, bud?
I'm not even looking up. I'm staring into my tankard or whatever I'm actually drinking out of. I don't even know at this point.
A tankard. It keeps getting refilled.
Yeah, I'm just kind of just staring there, just kind of just.
Okay, I'm gonna set the bow down on the table loud enough for him to hopefully look up at it.
I see it. I realize it's nice, but I don't feel good. I'm not feeling anything other than sorrow right now. I kind of like just a slight little smile or smirk and just go back to staring into my tankard.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask, are you sure he's dead?
Pretty sure. Harpies don't let things live for very long once they have them in their grasp.
Well, then I am sorry. Heads up. I might have some issues with the guards, so I'm gonna go to the room.
It's about
Yeah.
that time when the door from the inn flies open. A series of guards come storming in, take up some corners. The captain walks in and says, "Right, where's that party that just arrived?" "Ah, good. You," pointing at you, Londriel. "Out of my city or into my prison, which one would you decide? You just threatened the state and threatened the people of this town. I will not have you walking around and roaming freely. So either leave, or I'm putting you under arrest."
Okay, I'm just gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, I didn't threaten the people. I just threatened
You said you
your,
would burn this city down
lackeys.
to the ground. That is threatening the people. So either leave
No,
or
I
enter my
said-
prison. Guards!
I said anyone who
guards
touches
start
me burns
approaching
in
up.
holy fire.
You are now
Okay,
surrounded
I'm
by
going to
4 guards.
immediately moonbeam like right on myself, pretty much. That way, like anyone who comes near me, I'm just like, boom. I said, don't touch me.
Alright, if anyone doesn't intervene, this is initiative.
Look up, and I'm just
Brolog
staying.
isn't
I'm-
there.
Prologue's not
staying
there,
tucked-
Praspitus isn't
I'm
there.
staying tucked into my corner, just trying to not draw any attention to myself whatsoever. Like, basically trying to not be seen by anybody. Because I'm
I'd-
still at 1 HP.
Anubis
I'm
Sai.
thinking.
All the while thinking, oh, the turn.
What is the captain?
The captain is an elf.
Can I remember? No, they're a different continent even. No. I can't stop this. I will just roll initiative with everybody else.
Then it is initiative.
Do I have to roll initiative if I plan on staying out of this?
You do not, if you plan on staying out, you don't have to roll initiative.
18.
I'll roll an initiative just in case that changes.
Okay.
But for the time being, I'm staying out.
Give
I don't know
me-
how big this inn is. Would Brolog hear a fight going on at some point?
At some point, you probably will. I will let you know when Brolog does.
Cool.
I rolled a 19, and I'll.
Okay, hang on.
I'll
Give
let
me
you
a
know,
second
yeah.
here. When I ask for your initiative, deliver it to me. So, your Laundriel,
18.
18. Zarai,
19.
19. Anubisai,
15.
15. What's your dex, your Laundriel?
Oh, fuck. I don't even know. Not that high. +1.
+1. All right. You're going to have to give me a second while I pull up all the right stats here. I do not have a battle map for this. Hopefully, for obvious reasons, I'm not an all-seeing god. Though that would be fun.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a fair point.
I can always just pull up just a straight flat, unobscured grid.
That
Gerlandriel
requires
doesn't
a
like
weapon side roll 20,
Being
which
treated like
I
less.
do not
That's
have
true.
right now. But what I can do, actually, seeing as I do not have a battle map for this, so I can do this. There we go. All right. Your laundry will roll another one. They have the same dex as you.
Another.
Another check for initiative. You still have the 18. This is just to see who goes first.
18 again, somehow. I swear to God.
All right, one more time because they got an 18 again as well.
Good Lord.
Just
And
13.
there go all his good rolls.
13.
Hmm.
One more time, boy. They got a 13.
17.
17. All right, this time they got an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did. Hang on.
If I'm going first.
Hang on. I'll let you know if you are. You are going first.
Okay. Like I said, casted Moonbeam like over myself, and I'm not pulling out my halberd, and I'm just standing there.
The guards around you are all... They're all attacking you.
Bring it in, boys. Come into the holy fire.
It's a 5-foot radius, so they would have to step into your space to do this. So, surrounding you, they are not within the range of the holy fire. You are the one in the range of the holy fire.
Oh, okay.
Moonbeam is
Well,
only a 5-foot radius. You've made yourself look really
Gotcha.
epic.
Got it. Forgot. Oh, it doesn't matter, because I'm proving a point right now, not actually trying to fight them.
Does a 17 hit you?
Probably. Yes.
Yes. Okay. How about... No, that's a 13. That's a 22. And that one's a 10. So 2 of them hit you as they bring some spears at you, but the other 2 miss. For the damage taken, that's 3 and... Math is fun. That's 14 points of piercing damage between both attacks.
Yeah, ouch. For sure I'm going down on this one, boys.
The other guards begin taking place. Anubisai, 2 of them... There are a total of 10 guards inside this inn, not including the captain. 4 of them are surrounding your laundriel. 2 of them are now... They've stepped up to you, Anubisai, but they're not taking any action. It's more of a defensive stance of trying to keep you out of it. And then more of them step into other corners, kind of blocking the doorway, blocking other exits, and blocking ways for your laundriel to escape. After your laundriel... Actually, Zorai rolled a 19, so Zorai. But you're staying out of it, yeah?
No.
Stay out of it.
I'm gonna.
We can always get somebody out of jail.
Shifley, or not Shifley, Shufian, she does kind of put a hand on your chest to try to keep you from stepping in.
Can I just like quickly ask her? Do you think a smoke screen would be good? Get him out of here.
No, I think if you do a smoke screen here, they're gonna take you as well, and then they'll take me as an accomplice.
Okay, I'm staying out of it.
Nubisai.
I'm not going to take any aggressive actions, but I'm going to look at the captain and say, "You would dare attack friends of the Chancellor?"
Give me a persuasion.
I'm going to try and pull up appetite.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on myself before my turn's over? Because I forgot to say that again.
Yeah, go for it.
What did you want?
Persuasion.
10?
10. Friends of the Chancellor, as if.
I'm gonna smile real big at the the guard then.
Still
I'm
in
gonna be
turn
like-
order, not your turn. You don't
I
have
know.
any
But I'm just like,
grinning. Anything else with your turn, Anubisai?
We don't have a battle map, right?
No, there is no battle map. It's a small room, there's tables within. It's probably about 40 feet in square shape of form. Maybe about 12 tables all throughout and other little chairs all around. They are currently off in one corner. Zorai and Shufian sitting at the table by that corner. And with Yolondriel surrounded by 4 guards and 2 others nearby.
I want to move up to the captain. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's people in my way, and I'm going to walk through them.
They make sure you're not heading towards your Yolondriel, but when they see you going towards the captain, they do kind of start to protest a little bit.
I'm going to walk right up to the captain and say, "I'm not joking. We know the Chancellor, and we know whatever the dwarf's name was and whatever the elf's name was." Yeah, didn't write them down, huh?
Five-foot radius would be that way. So it's a 5-foot radius moonbeam. Thank you, Braspetus, for double-checking that. You would have affected 2 of the guards, given that.
oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Anubisai,
Well,
what was that?
details.
I was going to walk right up to the captain and say, "I'm not joking. We're friends with the Chancellor. We're friends with the dwarf commander, or whatever his name was, I can't remember, and the captain of intelligence, whatever her name was."
His response is going to depend on what this damage is.
Let me double check real quick that I don't add anything to that. Yes, I do actually. So that's plus. $11 points of damage, and everyone affected has disadvantage.
So
I believe so.
that starts at the
on
beginning
this
of their
attack.
turn. So a little little retcon because of that fix there. The two of the 4 guards who were surrounding you go down, and then are immediately replaced by 2 other guards who did those attacks to you. You have taken 2 of the guards out.
Out,
With
out?
that, out. They are on the ground. With
You mean
that,
I roll?
the captain's response to you, Anubisai, is, "He's just killed 2 of my guards. He is being imprisoned and executed in the morning. Arrest him!" And with that, he commands one of his people to... Yeah.
First roll, 91.
Oh, good grief.
And second roll, 26. Nothing on the second
26.
row.
Okay.
Oh,
Does
91.
a 17 hits your Londriel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You don't like that, JP. I rolled a 1,
That goes into the first then. Ooh. I think
which
that's
is
really
already gross.
nice. You're right, I'm not gonna like that. That is disgusting.
Hold it. No, on mine, Constitution is first.
Constitution, we might have to figure out which one you want that to be. Because usually I'm used to Constitution being third. But
I was just going by the order on my character sheet.
okay. Then yeah. I mean still, it's a still gross stat. It's still high.
Still gross. And changes things. We'll figure that out. We'll see where this goes.
Eulondriel, you take 12 points of piercing damage as one of the guards plunges his spear
Okay,
into you.
so 14 plus 12.
It's 26.
I have 1 hit point left.
This is not going to be good.
All right. 1 hit point left. That was
your
his
moonbeam
turn.
still up?
Oh yeah, concentration saving throw for that.
I'm going to drop it anyway, so doesn't matter.
Okay. It is back round to your turn.
Okay. I drop the moonbeam and I immediately fall to one knee with the halberd and begin prayer of healing on myself and the guards that I dropped. And if she interrupts me, then she kills her own guards. And I'm going to say that out loud to her.
It's a him, but you know,
A him.
it's fine. When you drop on your knees, you realize these guards are not breathing. They are dead.
Oh, well, radiant damage just fucking killed them outright. They didn't even do death saving throws.
Very NPC, man. NPCs don't do death saving throws. This thing, and you beat their HP. You killed them. You killed 2 guards. When you drop down and begin this, the captain, he yells, "Manacle him and take him to the prison." And 2 guards behind you grab at your wrists. Are you resisting at all?
No, I am going to let them, and as they do, I'm going to look at the head guard guy. And I'm going to say, yeah, the Chancellor's really not going to like you.
I think he'll be fine with my decision when he hears what you've just done and the threat you put upon this city. Take him away. And you are dragged, manacled, with your hands behind your back, out of the inn and brought to the prison. Your halberd is taken by another guard and taken to a different location. When you are also they try to take your armor off, but it doesn't come off because you're not the one taking it off. But eventually just leave you in the armor and throw you inside a cell.
Cool. Didn't think my moonbeam was going to just fucking KO those guys without any chance of me bringing them back. I thought at least they'd be down.
Oh, how the turntables.
Turntables indeed.
I'm going upstairs to get Parapetus.
I'm staying in my corner.
Yeah.
Shufian is like, "Your group always this violent?"
Oh,
Yep.
this is a calm day.
Calm. Calm? You guys are gonna need some help. She stands up from the table and begins walking off. Goes to the halfling at the table, and Zara, you see her start talking to the halfling. And they're beginning to speak in hushed tones for a moment, and halfling gets a little worked up and stops. She walks off as another bartender takes her place, and they go behind a closed door. Nubusai, are you doing anything, Zarai? You got that look.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about some things, but I think I'm good
You got
for the
that
time being.
thinky look.
Good.
I'm playing a little bit differently this time.
Nubusai, you get to the door.
Go upstairs.
Upstairs, yeah. to where you get to Praspitus's room, essentially.
Open the door. Walk in.
Praspitus is conked out. It's been a few hours, but still asleep on the bed. Brolog, you see Anubisai walk in. There was a brief commotion you heard, but it could have easily been mistaken as someone making a loud noise downstairs by dropping a tray full of beers, tankards. Didn't last that long.
Have you come to take my place and watch?
No, we have to wake Paraspidus up. Yolandra just killed 2 people and got arrested and taken and is going to be executed in the morning.
Without me. How rude.
Yeah, I know.
I do not think he will wake up.
I did not realize there were 1 ply.
Anubisai, you're muted. Burlock will turn to Paraspidus' prone form and start lightly slapping him in the face in order to wake him up.
It's been long enough, Praspitus, you wake up with a splitting headache.
This seems familiar. All right, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
Yeah.
What's up?
Some guards came in to the tavern below and challenged Yolandria. In defense, Yolandria probably didn't mean to, but killed 2 of the guards and then got arrested and will be executed in the morning. You know, normal day stuff for us.
Yeah. With a very vehement F-bomb, Praspitus gets up, makes sure he's got his sword on. All right, Brolog. It may be time soon. Let's go. And out the door.
Brolog follows with a little jump
Pep in the step.
Pep, pep's the word.
As I'm passing Anubisai, I'm going to look at Anubisai and I'm going to say, there may be violence. I'm hoping not, but there may be violence. I need your Landriel.
Yeah.
So definitely not going to be letting them execute him.
I tried convincing the captain that we were friends with the chancellor, but I'm not very good at persuasion.
Yeah, something about this captain rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think he's going to care.
So
And then I'm going to... Perfect. I'm going to head downstairs, and as I lock eyes with with Zarai, I'm going to kind of gesture as if, you come in?
Figured.
And then I'll walk out the door and let him stay.
And then I'm going to try to stealth out after him.
Okay. So give me an investigation to see if you can find where the prison is, and Zarai, give me a stealth.
Investigation with advantage.
I got a natural 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
Which gives me a 22.
So you leave.
Can I do this one?
No. You leave the boar's head and you trailed behind with Brolog and Nubisai behind you and start walking around. Kind of stop to take a gander at your location to see if you can think, okay, maybe if we're in this location, it might be located. And you hear this tumbling as Zarai trips over the door entrance and kind of stumbles out for a moment. He's a little drunk because he's been drinking. It's light ale, yes, but still, you got a good buzz going on. And he kind of, you're right there at the entrance, stumbled out, managed to catch
I look at him. And I just start kind of just awkwardly walking off in the other direction.
But Praspitus, when you were thinking about it after that minor distraction, you gathered with the size of the military encampment that you saw, the likelihood is if the military arrested him, they're not going to be holding him inside the civilian prison. they're going to be holding him in the military camp, which is
That's where we're going
walled
then.
off. And has
Oh, we're gonna
points
go right
visible.
for the straight for the front door of it.
There are
If
several
anyone
guards.
can, yeah, if anyone can give a good look at Praspetus right now, he looks like he's about to murder someone.
He's pissed.
Oh,
Mhm.
he
Prologue's
sounded-
happy.
Yeah.
Just
He's about to
punch.
murder someone, and he's got a really happy, massive beast walking behind him right now.
Mm-mm.
Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to where we go.
You eventually, when you walk up to the gates for the encampment, Zorai, where are you going?
I'm just going for a walk. See if I can find any arrow stuff. Oh, I took the bow with me too.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just kind of just going for just a casual walk. Clear my head a little bit. I'm literally just gonna go straight and then come right back. Because I was gonna sneak behind them, but since they saw me, I decided that I didn't want
Nah.
to see me sneak behind them. So yeah, I'm just gonna do just like a little walk until they're like out of sight, and then just go back to the boar's head.
Back to the bull's head.
Go
Okay.
back to my corner.
All right.
I
When
stumbled.
you-
I stumbled.
When you get up to the gate entrance, there's a few guards there. A small group talking amongst themselves, and some tending to the gate. And they see you approach and kind of straighten themselves up a bit. And one of them says, "Halt! No civilians past this point. Only military personnel. You'll have to turn around and go."
I'm gonna look right at him, and in a very commanding voice, I'm gonna say, "Bring me your commander right now." And I'm going to roll for intimidation because I am trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Brolog seeks to
And-
assist.
How
On
are you
top of
assisting,
that,
bro?
I am performing a commanding presence, so I get superiority dice.
Okay.
Boy,
Yeah, you get.
I get up right behind my guy Percy. I get real big. Flare the ears so they can see the tattoos and know what's up.
So roll at advantage then.
I got 30.
Is that's even that? Wow, that's a big number. That's at advantage too.
I rolled really, 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 really high. Yes,
Okay. The guard you
not
say
quite
that
a
to,
nat with money though.
he stumbles backwards and kind of just watch the gate. He runs as fast as he can through the door and begins screaming, "Captain! Captain!"
Put the fear of gods into him.
A good chunk of the guards at this point, like they are taking a couple of steps back, but also like putting any shield on that they have, maybe putting their hand on the sword hilts. It's getting ready for the worst.
Worst is here.
It's arrived.
Meet worst.
A few minutes later go, and you see that same guard open the door, look, see you still there, and usher in your direction. And a now probably as equally pissed off looking elf as Praspetus is, comes walking through the gate, looks at you and says, "I don't have time for your fucking kind. Get out of my city. The other one's already killed 2 of my guards. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care if you're friends with the Chancellor. I don't much care for him either. So as far
With-
as I'm
with one
concerned, your
swift
man's mine and your
action,
man's dead. Now leave."
As he's talking,
He-
with one swift action, as he's talking, my blade is out and at his throat.
Ooh, Brolog takes out his axe.
All of the guards' blades all come out as well, and they're all at everyone else's, they're bringing their blades up. He looks at your blade. That's a fine make. And he draws his rapier and is like, "Mine's nicer." Let's cut over to Zorai for a second here. When
Last
you
chance.
return to the inn,
How's this
Shoot.
going to be? He's the only one that's going to live.
Shufian
How the turntables.
and the halfling both come out from that door again. Shufian's looking around with a bit of a panicked look in her face. The halfling's looks a little upset. And Shufian finds your eyes and says, "Where did they go?"
To go find that not human
No,
that just killed
fuck.
2 of the guards.
She just runs out the door. Bursts through and runs out.
No, wait, stop.
It's like, there's no point stopping her. When she gets her mind on something, she just does it. It's
What's
about
she doing?
that time when he draws his rapier and he holds it up as well. You hear this, all right, everybody. Let's just all calm ourselves down a little bit. All right, look. I'll get them out of the town. It's fine. Don't you panic. Don't worry. It's okay. Just everyone put their swords away. There's been enough bloodshed for the day, all right? She gets up close to you, Precipice, puts her hand on your shoulder and says, I've got another way. But it doesn't need to be bloodshed.
At this point, it's pretty obvious it's very difficult for Precipice to do this because he's very angry, and Yorlandriel is, in his eyes, currently the most important member of his team due to the fact that he's got a direct access to information concerning where my charge is. So I, with very obvious reluctance, lower my blade.
The captain looks at Shufi and is like, and why should I listen? She turns around, pulls out a sack of coin. He looks, grabs it, feels the weight, and like, just make sure they're out of my town by the end of the day. He turns around and walks through the gate. All the guards remain. They keep their blades out and they wait for you to leave. As Shufian looks and is like, all right, come on. There's a few people you need to meet.
I reluctantly start
I got
to
plans.
pull
All I'm in
back.
jail. I got plans.
And then I look over at Brolog, and it's obvious I'm unhappy. And I say, hold for the moment.
You said it was time.
Yep. It may still be just for the moment. And I very reluctantly sheathe my sword.
All right, come on. Not here. Too many guards. She starts walking off, back towards the direction of the boar's head.
I follow.
Anubisai and Brolog, are you following as well?
Prologue looks at the soldiers with hope.
They don't flinch.
And then-
I mean, one of them kind of raises his sword a little bit, a little cautious. They're not taking any action, though. They're just watching.
Prologue takes a couple steps backward, with them in front of them, and then follows.
Follow.
Okay. When you get back to the inn, she looks around. At this point, Zara, you notice that after Shufian left, the halfling started putting some things away and then walked around the inn and started telling people to leave, that she was closing up early. And by the time you all get back, it's empty. Except for Zarai, who was not asked to leave. And there's the halfling with several shots lined up, ready for anyone who wanted to take any. She looks up and is like, that was a very expensive deal we just had to make. I assume you had to make it? Yeah, I had to make it. Why are we putting in with these people? Look at them. They're not from here. They're our best shot. Whatever. She agreed to meet them.
Someone say shot?
Yeah, there's a few over here. Right. You're gonna want to come with me to the back room, I guess, then. She hops down from the steps area, goes to a door and opens it up.
Praspidus gives the Dragonborn a brief look and then follows the halfling, or gnome, or halfling, whatever she was.
Shots, anyone?
Halfling.
Rolock
Okay,
follows.
more for me.
Do you take all of them?
I take. How many are there?
There
I want to know
are
before.
8.
Oh God, no. Do I?
What, you say no?
No, I take 4 of them.
4 of them. That'll be 4
How
Constitution
many?
saving throws then. You've
Wait,
been
this is
drinking.
Hank level stuff?
You've been
That's
drinking
true.
already.
Tank level now.
9. Nat 20. Nat 1. And 5.
Heads on the table. He doesn't even get the third one up. Unconscious, just goes down. Shufu's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll keep an eye on him. Get him some water for when he wakes up. Inside the room, Praspidus, you're the first stand to see it, the first to see it. When you turn your head, there is a very ugly looking 7-foot creature standing at one point of the table. He's smelly, very palpable smell to it. Looks like he doesn't have any eyes. Very gross looking grey skin, disheveled in many places, wielding this large battle hammer. He has no armor on, just a couple of leather strappings of kind. And he looks your direction, again with no eyes, he can't see, from what you can tell, but he knows you're there. And right next to him, to his right, is a female drow. Silver hair, standing there, looks at you and says, well, well, well. It's not very often that you find someone from Quela in a place like this. Now,
Would I have been able to tell by now that drow aren't
oh yeah, you've not seen a
Local?
single drow here. As far as you can tell, you don't
Okay.
know if drow exist here.
What's a drow?
Drow
Dark
is
elf.
dark elf, essentially.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
She looks at you up and down, is like, a Magus, a Loxodon,
Hey.
and a Nubisai.
Oh shit!
I'm quite surprised
Why?
to see you here, Anubisai. What brought you to this land?
You did. Or a mother's concern.
Of course she would. I leave the place that she wants me to rule, and of course she sends the greatest warrior she knows. Well, here I am. What are you going to do?
Rolock reaches for his axe.
Jesus Christ.
Praspidus puts a hand on Umbrellock's arm.
Rolock
I just remembered something.
takes his hand from the axe.
I remember something about Moonbeam. We forgot they were supposed to do a dex saving throw, and if they succeeded, it would have been half damage.
Oh,
So that would have completely changed all manner of events.
Not necessarily.
not
Maybe-
necessarily.
Not necessarily.
One of them definitely failed. The other one's still alive, but you did kill one guard.
Okay.
There.
Not as bad.
One ply. One ply.
One's better than two.
One ply.
Yep.
But this female drow just sits there and is looking at Anubisai, waiting for him to respond to what she said.
Why are you here? Well, I know why you're here. Did you find him?
Not yet. There's a few complications to it. At first, he was obtained by Le Bon, but somehow he's managed to get his way out.
Well, I have been asked to bring you home, but there definitely was no mention as to how long that would take, so I can help you.
She kind of looks at you with a bit of a quizzical look. I think I know what would be more interesting for you.
War, of course,
Of
but
course. And that is what is probably going to be happening in this place in the next few months. Just under 4 now. I have found myself as part of their underground resistance, not affiliated to any of the countries. Small group of people who would rather see peace in amongst everyone than a war break out. And that is what we are working for.
Is there a seating arrangement?
There are no seats back here. Just
No seats. Okay.
open room. Looks like some shelving units for storage.
how is that good for me if you want peace?
The halfling. Well, it's what we work for. Is we work for peace. But I say it will not happen as long as the Chancellor is in their seat and the King is in his seat. We don't necessarily agree with our paths, but now that you're here, I think mine is definitely the right one. We cannot commit the people for this. Plus, there's no way we can infiltrate in their place. You leave that to me. With our new friends here as well, there's a likelihood we can do it better. Besides, I don't think you've seen a magus at work before. They're quite impressive. I think we need to kill the king and the chancellor. Put new
Are
people
the
in seat.
individuals here?
In this city, in this town, no. They're inside their own neighboring cities and towns. And they are very well guarded.
Burlock is disappointed.
I don't know, Burlog. We'll have to fight our way to each of them to kill them.
That is the thought.
Through whole cities of guards.
It is a
Okay,
likelihood.
okay.
But where are my manners? I know Anubisai, but I do not know the rest of you. I am Leaf, daughter of the Queen of the Drow. This... I kid you not, this actually is his name. This is Steve. He is...
At the mention of Steve, even though I'm passed out, you just,
like...
you just hear me start crying in my sleep.
grumbling from inside the main area. He's a troll. One of the few left in this land. I ran across him when he was dying. Saved his life, and he's not left my side since. He doesn't say anything, though, so don't ever expect him to reply. As for the rest of you, who are you?
I'm going to size her up. And do I remember the royalty from the drow?
You would have been taught the royalty. The princess would have met them and told you about them. So the princess would have met Leaf. But you would not have.
Okay. And would I know that, are they allied pretty strongly with the Magus, or
They're
are
not part of the UNQ, so they're not part of the United Nations Aquila, but they are in good terms with.
in good terms with? Okay. So I'm going to size her up and down, and then I'm going to give the troll a nice good look, and then a good smell, and then I'm going to
Rancid,
look at
rotten
her
flesh.
again. I'm right. And I'm going to go. I'm Praspitus. This is Brolog, my bodyguard, and out there will be Zarai, another bodyguard. Your Landriel, who also signed up as a bodyguard, was just arrested. And yeah, we're here.
Yes. I heard the commotion. Paraspitus. You studied under the princess.
I did.
Then I assume you are here looking for her.
I am.
What a joy, you're all looking for people. Is that what it takes for the Magus King to finally set his expedition this way? It's for his daughter to go missing. She's not missing.
No?
No, she's in Lebon.
Well, that solves that problem. Suddenly, your laundry is no longer all that important.
Not really solves that problem, actually. She's in Le Groff, to put it specifically, which is the Le Bon maximum prison cell area. Her exact location inside that maze we have not located, and to try to do a rescue at this time would be suicide.
All right, hold on a sec. I gotta ask, why? Do you know why? Does anyone know why?
No.
Does
We don't.
anyone? Is there any log? It's pretty obvious at this point that Praspis is starting to lose his grasp of reality. Yeah, no. You know what? What are we doing? And I'm all in.
Well, that's one of three.
Question.
Answer.
Does Brolog perceive Praspis' frustration?
I'm not hiding it.
In that case, Brolog approaches Praspis, puts his hands on his shoulder, and offers him his axe.
When you pull
At
the
which
axe,
point-
the troll raises his hand and puts it on the hilt of the battle warhammer behind him. Stops and leaves like, no need. Lowers it down again.
I take the axe in one hand and I say, Brolog, if you will continue working as my bodyguard, I would really like to have you next to me when we do this, because there's going to be a lot of death.
Oh, of course, I will be there for the blood. I thought you may want to use the axe now, though.
No.
This
You-
table seems of poor quality.
We'll need it for later.
Okay. Puts the axe back.
Leaf looks at you, Nubis eyes. Nah, I understand you don't work for money, but there's going to be plenty of death.
Oh, I for some reason have found a new interest in this land, so I'm in.
Oh, interesting. Well, we'll have to talk about that later while we catch up. But first, you have said you will help me in my endeavors. It would be ill of me not to help you. Your Landriel is in prison, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We could use them.
Let's discuss how to get him out. We tried bribing, well, I mean, we had to use the bribing money to get them out of a fight at the gate. We could have used that later on. Brolog?
Brolog says, I have a suggestion. We kill them all.
There
Yeah,
are
that
2,000
sounds good.
troops situated inside that encampment. It would be very unwise to do that.
I got yeeted from 6 points, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Sounds like weak paper people talk to me.
Skin yearns for tattoos. This seems like a good idea.
Well, I don't totally disagree. I don't think 2,000 troops would be too much of a problem, but what do you have in mind?
I think we should use the tunnels.
Tunnels.
Great tunnel.
Yes, during the cataclysm here, there was a series of tunnels that were put into place. They run throughout the entire continent. Running around them is like a maze as well. No one's ever mapped them out. With that, With that, give me a perception check quickly.
$17.
Natural 20. I think I
Ooh.
know her just a little too well.
Yeah.
The halfling, so Brolock, you wouldn't see this, but the halfling gets a little bit of a smirk on her face. And Kyros here decided to take it on herself to do that. Now we have this entire region mapped out, and are currently trying to get others. There's not a direct path to the cells, but we can at least make it into the encampment and past their soldiers. Well, most of them, at least. We would still need to get into the building and get past those guards, and it would be wise to do this quietly. They don't know that I'm here yet, and I would like to keep it that way.
Onions.
You'll have to repeat that. I didn't hear any of it.
At the point of quietly, I look at my two companions, and then I look back at her, and I kind of just shrug. The quiet one's drunk right now.
There's another one of you. Drunk. Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's... Well, I suppose it is rather later in the day now at this point. Look, when you do this, I would appreciate it if you all kept low profile. If you get caught, word will get out, and you will be hunted in Recloria. Have you made it over to Lebon yet? Have you met with their officials? Then there would be no safe harbor for you on this continent.
I don't find that a problem, but my companions probably would.
I have a thought.
What is your thoughts? We are all ears.
Would you be willing to do the sneaking into the encampment to get your Landriel out while we provide a very substantial and obvious distraction?
You're willing to throw yourself under the bus? Well, under the cart. There we go.
Let's just say that metaphorical cart is very broken. So it's not going anywhere.
Right. What's your plan? Where would you do this? When would you do this as well?
Obviously not from within the city, because we don't actually want to bother the people of this city. So we'll swing around, go out, like you had bribed the captain thing to let us do. And then we'll come in from that side, making a lot of noise because it's going to be very obvious that we're pissed. And we're going to draw their attention over there on the other side of the encampment.
The other side, the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
If possible, all 2,000 troops. Now, the whole point of this would be to get them to follow us to a degree and... another idea just spurred.
He's excited.
Kill them all.
Can we get the harpies all riled up?
That might be a little too dangerous.
The halfling, or Kyros, as you know her name now to be, is like, are you fucking nuts?
At this point, I'm pretty sure I have gone crazy. Yes.
That would likely kill the town. Besides, how would we do that? Plus, getting the numbers big enough for them. Besides, they don't have an advantage here. There's no way the harpies would attack this place.
Well, it's not attacking this place. It'd be attacking the people that come at us.
Yeah, all
We're
2,000 of them.
Out of the encampment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just to distract. It's not supposed to work. It's supposed to be a distraction. The job is to get it so that they're all distracted, so you can do what you do, and then because we're not sneaky people.
Yes, but the harpies, they're cowards. They would not attack a force and a unit that large. They would attack you individually, yes, maybe, but not that many troops. It's a clever idea. I like where your brain goes and where your thoughts go, but I don't think it would work.
Which direction is the harpies anyway?
They're on the other side of the river.
They're west. A little directly west from here, a little north.
Trying to pull them that direction would be too much. Nope, that original idea, just us being the distraction.
And when would you be doing this distracting?
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, immediately. As soon as possible.
You realize you will be throwing yourself into the eyes of Recloria as being negligible beings who are not invited to this place. You would have to keep your head low whenever you're here.
The only other way I could think of doing this is trying to throw the weight of the Chancellor around again. Unfortunately, that won't work. We're not sneaky people is what I'm getting at. Us trying to sneak into the encampment's just not going to happen.
Then perhaps I have another idea. Leave it to me.
And what would you have us do?
Wait patiently.
All right, where?
Here. Out of sight, preferably. Stay away from the guards. Your party's already on loose terms with them. From what I heard, you have a winged one who's already made them quite upset. And now with your other one, your Landriel here, causing a commotion. I don't think they'll want you in this place. And what I have in my thoughts here is going to have to happen at night. So either you would have to wait here or you would need to leave the city, and I will bring them to you.
Zara is passed out drunk right now, so I guess we'll just have to wait here for now.
Good. She straightens herself out a bit, looks at Steve and says, all right, come on, back into our hall. Anubisai, after all this is over, I would like to talk to you.
Okay.
Good. I will see you all in a bit. Looks as though the sun is already setting.
Speaking of talking, I need to talk to the queen.
Okay. Leaf shuffles through another door that looks like it goes to nothing. When they close the door, there's small noises coming from within. And then... what was his name again? Kyros steps forward and locks the door. And that's the entrance, sorry. Look, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't know you all. Apparently she knows you, but I don't trust you guys. The only reason I'm going along with this is because Leaf told me to. And I trust her enough. I'm gonna keep the bar closed until she comes back. I'm losing a lot of business from this. She stumbles through the door, looking a little angry. You hear Shufian from the other side. How'd it go? Did it go well? Well enough.
Brulog turns to Persepolis and whispers, do we trust this Leaf person?
Leaf, yes.
If-
Situation, not
If
so
she
much.
fails or betrays us, we will not be in place to get your Landriel out.
Oh, boys, I got a secondary plan, so it's all good.
I trust
Just-
Leaf
that's our
not to
plans
betray
work.
us. But this, be ready for anything at a moment's notice.
Blood, ready for blood, always.
I'm going to also take a moment to send a quick brief message to Nero concerning or the king concerning the princess, depending on who has the ring at the moment.
Okay. Anubisai, let's do your message to the queen first.
Okay. Make contact. Say, I found her. I like my short sentences.
I found it. You've got 25 words and you use 3 of them. The complete anti-jester. Okay, none of you watch Critical Role. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. It's all right.
I haven't got there yet, all right?
Anyway,
Not that far yet.
you get a response of, good. Then I will hopefully see you in the next few months. I would like her back immediately.
Won't happen. She hasn't found her brother. And she started a resistance here.
There is just moments of silence, then, what? And that's the only response you get. Just complete baffled. And
I'll,
any-
I'll let you know when we start heading back.
there's no response to that one. Peraspitus.
All right, so the message I send is, I found the princess. She's being held by the group known as Laban. A resistance has started.
Roll a d20. Just random d20. No modifiers or anything.
16.
16. You hear back. Oh shit. Peraspitus. Good. You found my sister. That's nice. Thank you. When will she be back? Resistance? For what? Why? I mean, you just got that.
I'll let you know as soon as I can. I don't have her. She's not safe. I'm joining the resistance.
Joining the resistance to what? What are you resisting? Why are you resisting? Is there any purpose to this resistance? Where exactly is she? She's in danger? Oh, that's 25 words.
Yeah.
She's imprisoned in a labyrinth. The resistance is going to be helping us get her. That is why I'm joining.
Oh, well, that's fine. Totally fine. Perfectly good. Good luck. Try not to spoil our name to the governments. Do try to go through proper procedures and...
Was that 3 or was that 2
That was 3.
that I sent?
That was 3.
3. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
have another one I can send right now then.
Okay, you're just waiting at the inn patiently.
Is there still a shot on the table
There...
next to...
5.
So there's not 5 anymore. He drank 3 of them. His head is now is resting
There was 8.
peacefully. There was 8, yes, but there's not 5 anymore. I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. During the time you were gone, Shufian definitely drank 1. When Kyros came back out, they both shared another. And then Kyros is in the middle of pulling up the 4th to her lips to drink when you come around and says, you need one of these as much as I do.
Immediately, right down the hatch.
Con save. And she takes her.
1.
I rolled all right this time. 16.
16. You feel the effects of alcohol and booze going through your system, but you're still conscious. The world spins a little bit, but everything's fine. Sarai,
Oh.
while you're sleeping, while you're dreaming, I don't think I have any good ambiance noise to this at all, so I might just pause it. Actually, no, here we go. This. You dream of a forest. Beautiful, lush, green. It's very familiar. You remember seeing it. Anubisai, I love your backgrounds. But you remember this forest. It's the one you grew up in, the one your mentor taught you everything you've done. It's almost exactly like one you've had previously. You see, off in the distance, your mentor walking, peacefully smiling in this forest. He looks up, gives you a very sympathetic and sad look, as if he knows and feels your pain, and then mouths something. And as you wake up from your dream, you hear in your head, "Fret not, he's not dead yet." And that's where we're going to end the night.
Woo!
So, yeah.
You know,
He's not dead.
if
He's
I
not
had if I had known how weak these guys were, I would have specified non-lethally. But I was like, "There's no way I'm just gonna knock
You've
two
been-
dudes down."
You've been
KO.
doing so well specifying non-lethally, so I wasn't going to go back and say, "Are you doing this non-lethal?" after telling me the damage.
I really didn't think. I was just like, "There's no way these dudes are that weak. There's no way." And then you're like,
They're
"They're
that
dead."
They're
Well,
that weak.
my entire plan just failed. Cool.
General City Guards, their challenge rating is only 1/8. They've
Ugh.
got 11 hit points. You killed him exactly on. One of them survived with severe radiation burns, but he's still very injured. That was a very aggressive move, especially in front of someone who's incredibly racist.
I mean,
Like,
didn't
this
they walk
captain
into
hates
it
that
though, or
kind of
like,
stuff.
didn't they walk
They
into
did,
it?
but they don't understand magic.
Yeah.
They don't see
They don't-
magic as being anything good
Severe like that.
because they don't.
But
Now.
a lot of crazy stuff happened this session. If you guys missed any of it, then, or if any of you missed any of it, by all means, please go back in. We've got that wonderful VOD that will be inside Twitch. But check in a later day. I think we're going to pop it up either tomorrow or on Tuesday, hopefully Tuesday, onto the YouTubes. So you can check out all our videos there. The previous ones are up there as well. If you don't want to go back and watch those hours and hours of gameplay that we've done already, you can come into Tea Time with Murray. That's me on Friday at 5 p.m. MDT or 7 EST to kind of catch up on that and join me and a couple of the players as we dive into their psyche. And don't forget, Wednesday, playing with Mats. We're playing through Valheim. But for now, we will bid you all wonderful human beings adieu. We love you much, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.